So hey anime fans, the series name is What If Naruto Was Evil in Residential Evil, so let's start the series. The enormous doors of Konohagakure no Sato materializes for one Naruto Uzumaki Namikaze and head of the Five Countenances or his moniker the Substance of Death. The 16-year-old fair is an attractive young fellow with slicked light hair and his unpleasant however sparkling blue eyes taken cover behind a couple of dark-rimmed round shades with orange focal points. Do you figure this Hokage will acknowledge what you need Naruto? A sleek voice expresses. Close to Naruto is Alcina Dimitrescu, one of Naruto's darlings yet in addition an individual from Five Countenances as the substance of starvation. She is an exceptionally tall graceful young lady of a transcending 7 feet 4 inches and searching in her mid-20s yet her actual age was equivalent to Naruto. She has tormenting brilliant eyes and extremely fair skin with long plush dark hair done in exceptionally lovely bun, orange eyeshadow and crimson lipstick. In the event that he is as yet the feeble-willed man of my more youthful years, he will my affection, Naruto remarks. The blondie wears a perfectly sized, high-collar, lightweight strategic vest with a perfectly sized dark sweater under, some dark battle pants with battle boots and a dark tail cover with purple trim and 2 white tails. However, to maybe become one under his order, Alcina states, she wears some perfectly sized white jeans with knee-length boots, having a high heel and dark buttons going up the sides, a white dress shirt and a dark low-profile bodice vest, dark gloves and a wide-edged sun cap with an orange and dark parasol in her grasp. He might need to get his legacy, remarks Kane Tawada, head of Naruto's very own gatekeeper the Five Fingers and Naruto's darling. She is a young lady with long dark hair, crimson eyes, purple lipstick, and dark fingernails. Kane likewise has dark tattoos covering portions of her chest and the 2 arms, and an exceptionally conditioned body. In any event, donning a six-pack, she wears a free dull pink coat that shows her midsection, dark shielded boots, and dark loose jeans, with 2 katanas swinging from the left half of her midriff. Stop, one of the watchmen yells. Emerging from the shack, Naruto murmurs and slips his hands behind his back. Hi great sirs, kindly let the Sandame know that one Naruto Uzumaki is here, he says, tranquilly. The watchman squints his eyes however they broaden seeing the 6 stubbles on Naruto's cheeks. Izumo, go get the Hokage, he yells. We ought to be ready to battle, Alcina says, flexing her left fingers and they become long paws. The gatekeeper freezes yet Naruto lifts his hand. Simple now my dear. We here to talk not battle, Naruto says. I have zero faith in this spot, particularly for how it has treated you, Alcina murmurs, her brilliant eyes shining under cap. I realize love however at this moment, we really want to resist the urge to panic. Take a page from Kane, Naruto says and looks right yet sweat drops. Kane's red eyes were gleaming as she has a hand on one of her swords yet the Hokage shows up with 12 Umbu monitors. Hiruzen Sarutobi remained in his Kage robes of a red kimono and white haori with his Kage cap over his silver hair and liver-spotted face. Naruto, Hiruzen states. Naruto gradually eliminates his shades and the more established man saw the brutal blue eyes of the light. It's been quite a while Gigi, Naruto says. Hiruzen gazes at his tragically missing substitute grandson however moves his look to 2 ladies with him. Naruto, I've looked what happened decade ago. He begins yet Naruto giggles. Sorry Gigi, how about we talk somewhere else? An excessive number of eyes, Naruto says and Hiruzen gestures. Indeed, follow me, Hiruzen says and the Umbu take a border around them as they clear their path through the town. So will you present your mates? Hiruzen asks. Naruto holds his hands behind his back with a look left and right. Toward my left Alcina Dimitrescu and to my right Kane Tawada, he says and Hiruzen squints his eyes. The town has not changed a lot of in Naruto's eyes. Save a couple of progressions however it was as yet unchanged spot that tortured him as a kid. He feels a hand handle his left hand as Alcina peers down at him and he gives a delicate grin. The locals were gaping, pointing, murmurs at the light, the transcending Alcina and colorful Kane. Does the town realize I disappeared? Naruto asks. Hiruzen scowls with his head down to conceal his face with his Kage cap. Yes, it was about a month after you disappeared, he answers. I'm certain it was a fantastic festival, Naruto muses and Hiruzen doesn't say anything. The gathering before long reaches the Kage pinnacle and advance toward Hiruzen's office. The Umbu standing gatekeeper and the more seasoned man slips into town pioneer mode. Where to begin I wonder, Naruto says, sitting down and folding his legs. What about toward the start, Hiruzen expresses, looking to Kane and Alcina. Naruto murmurs and contacts his chest with shaking. I don't have the foggiest idea who took me, yet they wore veils like the Umbu, he begins. Then, at that point, shivering breaths came. Then came the investigations, tests, and more tests. Then infusions of some obscure infection blended in with some benevolent shape. Naruto proceeds, as Alcina puts a hand to his left side shoulder. It changes cells. It happened to me too. I used to be no taller than you except for now. Check me, Alcina says out. Alcina and I figured out how to escape because of our changes. I was broken and scarcely recalled that anything, notwithstanding Alcina, I would have kicked the bucket, Naruto says and lifts his glasses. Well, her and the Kyuubi, Naruto says, his voice taking an unforgiving edge. Hiruzen stays tranquil as Naruto takes in a breath with his nose. Envision my shock to realize why the town despised me, disconnected me, and treated me in such a way. That it was the Kyuubi everybody accepted was killed by the Yondaime, Naruto says and looks at Hiruzen without flinching. Yet again, let me know when was I to gain proficiency with reality, Naruto adds. Hiruzen stays quiet yet Kane grunts, likely never. For what reason do you engage this elderly person? He clearly couldn't care less about you, she says. That might be valid, yet he has something mine, Naruto says, his look floating to the Yondaime's image. Why, you know, Hiruzen says, his eyes wide and glinting. Once more obviously, the Kyuubi was sufficiently pleasant to tell me. He declined to utilized, so we came to shared understanding. Two spirits utilized by presumptuous individuals, Naruto expresses, sitting up straighter, and an orange fox rises up out of Naruto's shadow to sit in the blondie's lap. Presently, Gigi, would you compassionately hand over what is owed me? Cash you can keep, yet all the other things I need. I'll try and become one of your ninja for it, but I will answer just to you, inasmuch as you are Hokage, Naruto says, stroking the fox's head. Hiruzen gazes at the fox, however heaves as 8 additional tails show up, making a globule of sweat run down his face. I recall you, Hokage, and your damned monkey stick, the fox murmurs, and Naruto taps his head. Try not to be inconsiderate, Kurama, Naruto muses. Naruto, Hiruzen begins. Don't for even a moment endeavor what you're thinking. A decade have passed. I'm not that moronically gullible kid any longer. This town didn't merit my folks' penance. I'm simply able to engage the thought of being a ninja here to absolutely get what is mine and not need to owe you anything. So do we have an arrangement, Sarutobi? Concerning Kurama, he can do nothing. He's actually fastened to me, Naruto says. As Kurama evaporates, Hiruzen reclines his seat. However, unexpectedly his entryway opens and 3 individuals enter, his counselors Danzo Shimura, Koharu Udatane and Hamura Mitokado. What are you doing here? Hiruzen states. What is going on with this Hiruzen? Danzo says. However, his eye noticeable river. As Naruto thinks back, he has a X-shaped scar on his jaw and shaggy dark hair and eyes. He wears a white shirt, with a dim robe over it covering his feet, to simply over his right shoulder, and an earthy colored stick. I didn't call for you, Hiruzen says, reviling his karma. Naruto ascends from his seat and goes to the 3 seniors. We'll talk later, Sarutobi. I'll remain at the best inn in the town, he says, strolling past them with Alcina and Kane. Quietness before long rules as Hiruzen sits unobtrusively, do you understand who that was, comma? Very much let me revive your aggregate recollections, Naruto Uzumaki, he says, causing Koharu and Hamura to wheeze. Then he ought to be caught, he disappeared decade prior and might have been betrayed us, Danzo says, and Hiruzen squints his eyes. You won't go remotely close to him, Danzo, the equivalent goes for you both also. In the event that the town learns Naruto has returned, I'll know who to execute, Hiruzen says. He evaporated long-term prior like Danzo said, the kid is our Jinchurikin. Presently he dances once more into the town like nothing has changed, our foes might have gotten to him, Kohara states. She is a more seasoned lady with silver hair done up with hair needles, pearls and tufts with her eyes shut or squinted. She wears a straightforward long kimono, shut by an obi, a coat, and a band over it. I know that Koharu, Hiruzen says yet murmurs, covering his eyes with his hands. Limit Naruto, and his mates, Hiruzen orders. For what reason am I not astounded, Naruto expresses, inclining toward Hiruzen's office from the window. The secret rapidly show up with their weapons drawn, yet Naruto's eyes sparkle and their weapons lift from their hands. What is this? One yells. Naruto falls through the window and makes a clench hand, smashing the weapons into a metal ball and pulling it to him with a rush of his hand. You damn evil presence, Koharu says, and Naruto jeers, however grins. Not so much as an hour in Konoha's real essence comes to uncovered. How disappointingly unsurprising, Naruto says and ventures into his jacket, taking out a collapsed paper. A decade is quite a while and it's sufficient opportunity to make strong companions. As a matter of fact, a few strong companions, one all of you know very well, Naruto says, showing Hiruzen the letter, and the more established man's breath hitches at the wax seal. The daimyo, Hiruzen says, and the three older folks wheeze, or rather two pant. Naruto puts the letter on the work area with a slant of his head. Master Ozai and I are on generally excellent conditions. It would carry mischief to his face to discover that somebody near him was treated in such a matter, particularly the child of such a rumored legend like the Yondaime, he says, and the two seniors wheeze. How could you learn of that? Danzo questions. Naruto ascends to his full level as Hiruzen opens the letter. Inside is a commission by Master Ozai that I be his own shinobi, obliged to him and the occupant Hokage, Naruto says, overlooking Danzo. Occupant Hokage? Hamura says. He has a harsh articulation with silver hair, a facial hair growth, green-edged glasses and dull eyes. He too, like Koharu, wears a straightforward long kimono, shut by an obi, a coat, and a band over it. Gracious yes, Hamura-san. You see, ruler Ozai has concluded that Sarutobi has been Hokage for a really long time, and such misfortunes have come upon this town, the Hyugakumo calamity, the fall of the Uchiha, the child of a previous Kage left well enough alone from him and misled, letting him know the kid is living cheerful and free. Naruto begins yet goes to Danzo. However, said youngster was removed from a halfway house at 4, cheated for food, dress and asylum, grabbed at 6 to be utilized in somebody's debilitated tests. Naruto proceeds and looks to Hiruzen. The new Hokage will declare at the approaching Chunin tests held here in Konoha. You have up to that point to take care of your undertakings, Naruto says and waves, returning the swords to ordinary effortlessly. As I said, I'll be at the best inn in the town. I anticipate what is mine, Naruto says and pops with a puff of smoke. Hiruzen grasps the letter with a stunned demeanor all over. Call the leftover board, they need to evaluate it of things, he says. We can't allow this kid to pull off this, Koharu says. We can and we will, the daimyo sent him actually, Hiruzen says, throwing the letter on the table. Hamura gets it and peruses it. However more he does, the more grave his face becomes, and this alarms Koharu. How might we fix this? Hamura says, and Danzo holds his stick. This never would have occurred on the off chance that you had given me the kid, Danzo says, and Hiruzen releases his ki. This would have happened sooner on the off chance that I ruled, Ozai has consistently considered Kushina to be a nearby partner, more so Minato, in the event that he realized their child was one of your na and I permitted it, we would both be dead, Hiruzen yells, shooting up from his seat. I have 5 months to fix things admirably well for the officeholder Hokage and Naruto in the event that I would be able. I'm requesting your 3 to avoid him and his partners. My past words turn out as expected also, in the event that the town gain proficiency with he's returned before I declare it. You will kick the bucket, Hiruzen adds, and the seniors stay calm. Scene break. Haha, the expression all over, Naruto muses, holding up his glass. Kane pours him some bourbon as Alcina sits on the horrendously little bed in their room. This basically will not do for our daily exercises, Alcina remarks, drinking her own bourbon. Despite the fact that you make him seem to be some Shota, Kane shot and Alcina murmurs, showing extended canines. What's more, you emit the quality of a man, Alcina says, as both frown at each other. Enough, Naruto yells, his voice resonating around the room and the pair quiet down. For the time being it will do the trick until Sarutobi gives me my parents home. Presently once the sisters show up, we can get things underway, Naruto says. A thump at the inn entryway and glass entryway outside makes the blondie sneer, as Alcina goes to the glass entryway and Kane goes to lodging entryway. The blondie folds his legs and eliminates his glasses as Kane goes after the handle. Who is it? Kane yells. Room administration, a voice says, and every one of them perceive the voice. Kane makes the way for uncover a basic lady with dark hair and earthy-colored eyes as Alcina goes to the glass entryway to the overhang. The lady holds a slam sign and her structure changes to a more refined and honorable lady. Her dress of a red cheongsam dress with longer hair, from the external a swarm of butterflies, blowflies and moths enter as Alcina slides open the entryway, the crowd structure into 3 delightful ladies, wearing evil dark dresses and hooded cloak, each having different hair shade of blonde, red and brunette, yet every one of them have dark lipstick and tattoos on their brows. Hi mother, the 3 say pair, the 3 call Alcina mother in spite of being a similar age as Naruto, is because of Alcina's DNA being utilized with the infection to give them their capacities like the Aburame group. Hi Ada, Bella, Cassandra, Daniela, Naruto says, and the 4 bow. Hi demise, starvation and center finger, Ada says. So what do you have for me? Naruto inquires. The Hokage has assembled a board conference. He needs to stretch out beyond things and endeavor to curry your approval, Ada begins. Fufufu Danzo is troubled. He was cautioned that demise is in his future. Would it be advisable for him he move against you? Bella says, and her sisters snicker. Obviously he will. Danzo needs his analyses back, all things considered, Naruto muses and Alcina snarls. When is the committee meeting? Naruto inquires. At this very moment, it's made of the Jonin administrator Shikaka Nara, Umbu commandant codenamed Okami, the seniors and non-military personnel voice Kazashi Haruno, Ada answers. That maggot, he owes Pinky huge load of cash. In the event that we gathered, we'd have an entryway large enough for Alcina to stroll through easily, notwithstanding Pinky's crappy karma, Kane says, and the pseudo-vampire gives her a look. Does he hold influence in the town? Naruto inquires. Not much, yet enough to have Huang Dong-su and his sibling Huang Dong-suk in his utilize. Danzo lent him those mongrels, Cassandra makes sense of. Naruto folds his legs and reclines in his seat. Thumb needs a pound of tissue from that charlatan for what occurred in ice, he muses. Notwithstanding for the present, watch out for Sarutobi. Bella and Daniela will watch out for Danzo. Cassandra will keep her eyes on Kazashi, Naruto says, and the 4 gesture. Alcina, I maintain that you and Kane should contact the other 5 faces and fingers. We'll meet Akatsuki soon to examine things going ahead. I would despise for battle to break out between us, Naruto says. That would leave you unguarded, Alcina says, yet the blondie grins. Do you accept me so feeble I cannot deal with myself in nook of adversaries? Naruto says yet sneers, other than I have them available to my no matter what, he adds. Where do you maintain that we should meet? Kane says. Naruto ascends from his seat with a roll of his left shoulder, some place in the center. I rather not burden them, he muses. Scene break, committee room. Hiruzen sits with his eyes shut as the remaining parts of the committee records into the room, with Shikaku on his right side and Okami on his left side. His consultants were reclining across from him and Kazashi was the last to show up. Much thanks to you for coming without prior warning, says. What has happened, Hokage-sama? Shikaku asks. He has 2 scars on the right half of his face with dull hair restricted into a spiky braid, dim eyes, and a goatee. Naruto Uzumaki has re-emerged, Hiruzen says, and a chill goes into the room. Where has he been? Okami remarks. They wear the standard umbu clothing of dark dress, a dim fire coat, metal arm gatekeepers and gloves, however, with a dark haori and oni cover. That I don't have the foggiest idea, yet he has the support of Master Ozai, Hiruzen says, and Kazashi wheezes. The daimyo? Kazashi says. He has mid-length pink hair and green eyes, wearing a dull dim suit. Hiruzen lights his line with a little Katan chakra. Yes, Ruler Ozai has lost confidence me and has chosen to supplant me with another Hokage, he begins. Might Naruto at some point be this new Kage or near them? Shikaku says, yet Hiruzen shakes his head. No, the occupant Hokage has connections to the town, however Naruto will be their eyes and ears until they show up. Ruler Ozai has named him as a shinobi and is utilized and not obliged to the town. The new Hokage will show up for the finals of the Chunin tests and will be declared thusly, Hiruzen makes sense of. That implies Naruto's treatment before his vanishing could play a consider how things go and the examination concerning it too, Okami says. To be sure, Naruto let me know he was taken by a gathering with covers like our umbu, Hiruzen says, and Okami grasps their clenched hands. His watchmen around that time were screened completely. Could one of different towns, Okami says. That is conceivable, yet Naruto some way or another got away. I will meet with him tomorrow to examine things alongside Ibiki and Inoichi. Jumping his mind is risky with the Kyuubi, yet it should be finished, Hiruzen says and moans. For the present his reality is to stay here. I would rather not cause alarm among the town, he says, and they gesture. Hiruzen excuses the committee, yet the Kage realized things would winding wild. How is it that things could happen this way, he thought. He arrives at his office yet finds Naruto pausing and conversing with his secretary Ada without his vest and coat on. Naruto, Hiruzen says. The blondie uncrosses his legs and ascends to his feet. I return to talk in private, Naruto says. Sadly that won't be imaginable. Ada, contact Ibiki and Inoichi. I really want them rapidly, Hiruzen says, and Ada gestures. As the more seasoned man ushers Naruto into his office, Naruto sits down as a couple of umbu encompass the blondie. Fascinating, the blondie muses, as Hiruzen sits down with a serious look. Naruto sits with his legs got and his shades over his eyes. So this is your response, he muses. Indeed. Sadly this is my response, Hiruzen states. A couple of moments pass and the entryway opens with men entering, both wearing every dim uniform and dark raincoat. One is a tall and scarred man with blue bandana, the other is fair-haired man in a high pigtail with somewhat blue eyes. You called for us, Hokage-sama, the scarred man says. Hiruzen keeps his look on Naruto with a slight shift focus over to the 2 men. Yes, Ibiki, Inoichi, thank you both coming so truly, he says, prior to moving his hand to Naruto. Naruto Uzumaki has returned. I want your abilities, Hiruzen states, and the 2 men shift their look to the light. The Jinchuriki, Ibiki says. Inoichi comes around towards Hiruzen to get a decent gander at Naruto, noticing his marginally thin face, however, looking like his dad. So how might this work? will I tormented by our scarred companion or my psyche altered by the Yamanaka? Naruto remarks and gradually eliminates his glasses. Inoichi gazes at the cruel yet tormenting blue eyes and sees a bunch of feelings. I will not dive excessively deep because of the Kyuubi, yet we need you will tell the truth, he says. Naruto ascends from his seat and makes them go wary, yet the blondie goes after his sweater, taking it up to take it off. Hiruzen's eyes extend at the various scars and tattoos, yet the most special is the full back tattoo of a burned skull with death on the temple. To conceal my scars, I got a smart decent ink, a method for adapting to the aggravation from before, Naruto says. Do you have at least some idea who seized you? Ibiki begins and Naruto glances toward him, measuring his jaw in thought as Inoichi puts a hand on his head from behind. As I told Sarutobi, they wore covers like the umbu, but one stood out however. He had the eyes of a snake, Naruto says, and Hiruzen's breath hitches. How long were you caught? Inoichi inquires. 5 years, Alcina and I got away for the most part by karma. The infection they infused us with wasn't reasonable to them at that point, Naruto says, yet smiles, but that was completely false and our controllers paid for it, he adds. You say infection, Hiruzen asks. Naruto lifts his left forefinger and a ninja kunai lifts from Inoichi's pocket, causing them a deep sense of shock. Well, this infection is combination of a shape of some sort and blended in with something we didn't have the foggiest idea. It changes one's DNA. For me it improved my speed, strength, recovery. He even gave me this little expertise. It's like the Sandaime Kazekage, Naruto makes sense of, getting the kunai and throwing it on the table. Intriguing, so how could you meet the daimyo? Ibiki asks. Naruto gets his glasses to wipe them with his sweater. It was around quite a while back. It was around the hour of his granddaughter's grabbing close to Earth Country. He begins and Hiruzen's eyes broaden marginally. Meaning he might be an individual from the 5 countenances, Hiruzen thought. It was then he met you, Hiruzen says, and Naruto gestures, a weak grin all over. Right, and at first he was stunned that the child of individuals, whom he was on a decent compatibility with, was in such a spot. I recounted to him my story and he was disturbed, Naruto answers, slipping his sweater back on and afterward his glasses. Hiruzen looks to both Inoichi and Ibiki with the 2 men gesturing, making the more seasoned man incline forward. Naruto, tell me, are you an individual from the 5 countenances? Hiruzen asks and Naruto smiles, going on the defensive toward. Part and pioneer, you saw the tattoo on my back, Naruto says, and a little dread wells up in the more seasoned man. The 5 faces, a group of hired fighters, every part thought to be undeniable level in their art, however having a tattoo of an alternate face, even the substance of death, Ibiki says, and Naruto snaps his fingers, highlighting the scarred man. That's right, I'm demise. There is additionally war, starvation, plague and shrewdness. So Sarutobi, is this meeting over? I might want to understand what rank do you wish to give me, Naruto says. Return tomorrow at 8, I will have your position, Hiruzen says, and Naruto ascends from his seat. That is fine, Gigi. Gracious, more thing. Alcina and Kane have proactively left, so don't bother keeping the umbu detail on them. If not, you'll need to track down new ones, Naruto expresses, thinking back and grinning. The entryway closes and Hiruzen hammers his clenched hand on the work area, however covers his head in his grasp. I bombed them both, he says. To think a 16-year-old youngster made the 5 countenances, Ibiki says. Who are the 5 countenances? Inoichi inquires. As I said, the 5 countenances are a gathering mercs entrapped in a hidden world of shinobi. Every part is an expert regarding abilities. In the event that he to be sure saved Master Ozai's granddaughter, he is distant, Ibiki says, and Inoichi's eyes extend. Jiraiya drew them out into the open after the occurrence with the princess. 300 individuals lost their lives to the gathering, Hiruzen says. So how would we manage him? His abilities alone make him over our current of genin, even a portion of our jonin, Inoichi says. He given the position of Tokubetsu Jonin, however, I believe that he should shadow the ongoing new kid on the block groups, maybe being around those around his age, Hiruzen says. I question that will work. The youngster's seen sufficient demise and obliteration to endure forever, combined with the reality he's the Jinchuriki of the Kyubi, Ibiki remarks, yet Hiruzen stays quiet. Scene break. Naruto walks around the town with his shades on his nose, a weak grin all over, yet his detects sharp. He'll limit you, Kurama says, and Naruto murmurs. I could mind less what he does, he can't uphold any standards on me, I'm the daimyo's shadow, Ozai needs Sarutobi out of office sooner, as opposed to later. The way that he persuaded that individual to become Hokage is verification enough. Somebody who can scrub this town with a wonderful shoot, Naruto thought. Halting at a weapons and clothing shop known as Higarashi's. Welcome to Higarashi's, a youthful voice yells. Naruto spies a young lady somewhat more established than him at the counter with chocolate eyes and earthy colored hair in panda buns. She wears a long sleeve, high-collar white pullover with maroon edges, dark fingerless gloves, low-heel shoes and maroon, puffy hakama-style pants with the uncovered parts canvassed in gauzes. Naruto glances around at their products yet advances toward the counter. I'm search for the standard Konoha clothing for their ninja, he says and slants his head. 10-10 Higurashi, and the clothing is essentially your own, yet it you need stock clothing, we have it, she says and digs out from a deficit the counter. 10-10 snatches Naruto the standard clothing of a long-sleeve blue shirt, woodland green freight jeans and dull blue gloves with a metal strip on top. Here you, are you new around? Go, 10-10 asks and Naruto gestures. The name's Naruto Uzumaki, Naruto says, shaking her hand. So for what reason do you want the stuff? 10-10 asks, ringing up his things. Naruto takes out his wallet and hands 10-10 the vital money. I'm joining the town for the present and I need to look like it, he says. What's your position? 10-10 says and Naruto slants his head. I don't have any idea yet, however the Hokage will illuminate me tomorrow. Great day 10-10-san, Naruto says, taking his pack and changing direction suddenly. 10-10 watches Naruto's withdrawing structure. I wonder what his identity is. He didn't go to the foundation, those scars all over look recognizable, she thought, yet would before long learn, similar to every other person, what his identity was. Far beneath the roads of Konoha is the HQ of Na or Root, an outdated and secret Umbu division run by Danzo. The shinobi no Yami sits on a pad as his most steadfast men Torian Aburame and Fuyamanaka bow before him. Naruto Uzumaki has returned, Danzo says. Would it be a good idea for us we endeavor to catch him? Fu asks. He has coppery variety hair and golden eyes, a short, dark coat with red lashes on the shoulders like all individuals from Na, and a red short kimono under the coat with a dark band, a couple of dark gloves, dim variety jeans, and standard shinobi shoes. No, the kid has the support of the daimyo, Danzo says, inside grinding his teeth. A decade prior Danzo had Naruto seized while Hiruzen was away in Wind Country to meet with the Yondaime Kazekage Raza Sabaku. He utilized the bedlam of the Kyubi celebration to take the kid and succeeded, planning to involve the kid as a device for what's in store. Until further notice, he will be noticed, Danzo states, and the two men gesture. Torian, send Sai to me right away, Danzo adds, and Torian gestures. He is normal of the Aburame tribe with just a little piece of face noticeable from his dark garments. Indeed Danzo-sama, Torian says, and both reason themselves. Danzo grips his secret arm at the prospect of Naruto getting away from him. Quite a while back, he had ensured Naruto was far away from the town with Orochimaru of the Sannin's assistance. The snake Sannin had found an odd shape that held exceptionally peculiar properties. Grafting it with the DNA of the Shodaime Hokage and a parasite, Orochimaru infused the infection presently known as the Forebear infection into Naruto and a few others, most strikingly being Elchina, but the infection was pointless and killed everything except Naruto and Elchina. Might Orochimaru at some point have misled me, Danzo thought. Danzo-sama, a voice says, and Danzo admires. See the usable name Sai. He has short, straight dark hair, and dim eyes which stand out from his clear-looking fair skin. He wears a short dark dim coat with red lashes, a high neckline waist shirt, dark jeans, shinobi shoes and gloves with his record and thumb fingers uncovered. Tomorrow you will join Group 7 with Sasuke Uchiha and Sakura Haruno. In contrast to his sibling, the kid is a gamble for his stupid idea of vengeance for his family's end and father's demise, Danzo states and Sai gestures. Likewise, I suspect Hiruzen will have one Naruto Uzumaki collaborate with the other genin around his age. Don't draw in him yet, assess his abilities assuming that he is associated with your group, Danzo adds and Sai gestures by and by, before Danzo excuses him. Scene break following day. Naruto moans and gradually open his eyes, his look floating to the naked assemblage of I Am Ichiraku laying on his chest. Subsequent to leaving his cross-examination, the blondie made a beeline for Ichiraku Ramen to reconnect with the sole individuals who were pleasant to him. Tucci didn't perceive the light at first, however the more he talked he before long did, embracing the kid and once again introducing him to I Am. She recalled that him and they talked for a long time, before one thing lead to another and the blondie was hauling I Am to his lodging. I Am, I want to go, Naruto says and shakes her. 5 additional minutes Naruto-kyan, I Am murmurs. Naruto laughs and slides from under her. Your father will be pissed at me, he says and I Am's eyes gradually open. He will not be distraught, I Am says, covering herself with the sheet. Naruto grunts and scrubs down, prior to getting wearing a long-sleeve blue shirt, woodland green freight jeans and dull blue gloves with metal strips on top. He folds dark tape over his lower legs for his boots and slips on his perfectly sized, high neckline, lightweight strategic vest. You can remain as long as you like, Naruto expresses, slipping on his shades. I Am turns on her side with a little grin. Come to the shop for lunch Naruto-kyan, she says and Naruto waves. Leaving the lodging, Naruto advances toward the Hokage tower and could see individuals giving him inquisitive looks, however essentially his hairs, gradually contacting their recollections. Morning Ada, is the Hokage in? Naruto says. Ada was sitting close to the entryway in a dim purple matching suit and red shirt. Yes, happen in, she says and Naruto enters, finding Hiruzen sitting at his work area. Morning Sarutobi, I'm here as inquired, Naruto says. Hiruzen eliminates his glasses and ascends from his seat. You will have the position of Tokubetsu Jonin for your length, yet I would like you to shadow our flow yield of genin, in particular group 7, 8, 10 and 3. Every one of them are genin around your age, he makes sense of. That is fine, yet I trust your powers comprehend I'm not some green shinobi. I can and will protect myself. The equivalent goes for your regular citizens, Naruto says, his left hand popping with power and pulling the metal hitayate to his hand. Likewise take this to the institute. You'll shadow group 7 first. Their master Kakashi was your dad's understudy and is infamous for being late, so you can meet him there, Hiruzen says. I see, Naruto says and advances toward the entryway, however stops. Tell me, does town have some familiarity with my status? Naruto inquires. I made a regulation to keep the more youthful age oblivious to your status as a Jinchuriki, yet after you were absent for a considerable length of time, I revoked it, Hiruzen states and Naruto doesn't say anything. Naruto wraps the hitayate around his neck and leaves the Hokage pinnacle to advance down to the foundation. That makes sense of the looks, maybe some actually remember you, Kurama says. Or on the other hand see them as scars as they look currently on account of the tattoos, and I truly do look like my dad, Naruto thought, taking his hands and strolling through the entryways. The foundation is very huge and contained a few structures as the blondie tracks down the biggest convergence of biopower. This infection is very valuable to me. I can detect electrical motivations like an electric eel, Naruto thought. In any case, what is an electric eel? Kurama says. An ocean animal fit for making their own power through specific organs. The parasite combined with the infection emulates these organs in me. Naruto makes sense of, finding the study hall with boisterous yelling voices. Naruto thumps multiple times and the voices calm down somewhat to have the entryway slide open, uncovering a man wearing the Konoha clothing with a scar across his face and earthy colored hair tied in a braid. "Who are you?" he asks, doubt in his dim eyes. "Naruto Uzumaki, Tokubetsu Jonin, and here to shadow Group 7, Naruto says, however could see the smidgen of disdain manifest. "Come in, I'm Iruka Yumino," he says, and Naruto follows him inside. The homeroom was huge and has a high roof. Before the enormous slate is a platform, arranged a long way from a few lines and understudy giving him looks. Naruto rests on the wall close to the writing board with his arms collapsed and his eyes shut as Iruka talks about clear Konoha misleading publicity. "So will you present yourself?" Iruka says. Naruto drives over the wall and snatches a piece of chalk. "Call me Naruto, Naruto Uzumaki, Kyubi Jinchuriki and Tokubetsu Jonin," he says, composing his name and making a considerable lot of them mumble. "Never knew about you," a reckless voice yells, trailed by a canine bark, the source being a young fellow with chaotic earthy colored hair, sharp bruised eyes and vertical cut like understudies with red tooth markings on his cheeks. He wears a cowhide perfectly sized dark coat, with zippers over the chest and sleeves, alongside dark jeans and shoes. "Well, that is be normal. I've as of late joined the town. I've been turning out outside for another, yet they maintain that me should see and experience the typical corp," Naruto says. "You mean the Kyubi Jinchuriki, as in the Kyubi evil presence that killed the Yondaime after he made it human," a blondie expresses, doubt in her child blue eyes, wearing an outfit of purple and dark. Iruka gives Naruto a slight grin, however the blondie looks at him and his eyes drain red. Well, not completely erroneous. The Yondaime did to be sure pass on because of the Kyubi, in the same way as other on the evening, yet he didn't make the Kyubi human. He fixed the fox away, he says, eliminating his shades and showing his modified eyes. "Inside me is the beast fox that killed so many, however be cautioned, I'm equipped for involving its power as my own, so Yumino which of these kids are individuals from Group 7, in contrast to every one of them, my time is more important," Naruto says, his eyes getting back to an unpleasant and shining blue as he slips his glasses back on. Iruka feels a globule sweat run down his face, as do a couple of in the classes, KHM, Sasuke Uchiha, Sakura Haruno and Sai. "Why you will shadow with Tokubetsu Jonin Uzumaki and your teacher Kakashi Hitaki," he says. "Well, you heard the man, let us be coming. As I said, my time is more significant than yours," Naruto says, the three being referred to get to their feet as Naruto holds the entryway open for them with the blondie's secret eyes on Iruka. "Do you have at least some idea where our teacher is?" Sakura asks. She has long pink hair and jade green eyes, wearing a red cheapao dress with short sleeves and cuts at the edges joined by a zipper, and white roundabout plans, some close dull green bicycle shorts with a shuriken holster around her right thigh, blue shoes and her hitaite as a headband. "Not as of now, but rather I will soon," Naruto says, as they arrive at the outside. Sasuke murmurs. He has dark hair that approaches his face, however looks like a duck's butt, and dim variety eyes, common of the Uchiha. He wears a naval force blue, casual shirt with a high neckline, white shorts, and white arm warmers with blue shoes. Naruto raises his left forefinger up and every one of the three wheezes as a dim moth lands on his finger. "Much obliged," Naruto muses, allowing it to take off. "Yet again, to return to your inquiry, I do now," Naruto says and coaxes for them to follow. A request, Sai thought. Group 7 follow the fair as they show up at dedication sculpture for the fallen of Konoha. Remaining at the stone was a man. He wears the typical Konoha clothing with improved silver hair situated to one side and a half veil all over. "Goodness, my appears to be my group came track down me," he says and turns however his breath hitches, seeing Naruto gazing back. Master, the man thought yet hacks, well welcome group 7, I'm Kakashi Hatake and your teacher, he starts and gives a little presentation, trailed by different individuals. No doubt about it, Kakashi says. Naruto Uzumaki, preferences, aversions and dreams are not worth telling however I will say, yes I'm who you think I'm, Naruto says, confounding two of group 7, Kakashi clears and goes to his group with an eye grin, since it's somewhat early, for what reason don't we have a little test, might you want to help Naruto, he says. Scene break. Naruto remains before the depleted individuals from Group 7 and his assessment of them was extremely low or if nothing else for two of them. Naruto thought Sai was requested to keep down yet Sasuke and Sakura were frail, more so the young lady. Sasuke basically had his Sharingan and knew some ninjutsu however Sakura was more fragile than most infants. You'll have a challenging situation to deal with her Kakashi-san, Naruto muses, cleaning his shades. Kakashi looks to Sakura with a moan, she might shock you, he says yet Naruto mouths question it. Okay group, we'll meet tomorrow at the mission corridor at 8, Kakashi says and his group stalks off with Sakura hassling Sasuke. I'm certain Sarutobi let you know everything, Naruto says, slipping his glasses back on. He did, Naruto, Kakashi says yet the blondie lifts his hand. Save it for somebody who will really tune in. You were my dad's understudy, at this point did you take on me no, did you protect me no, did you look for me no and that is 3 for 3, I owe this town only disdain. So don't for even a moment start to engage the thought of patching things lastly saving your master's just child, Naruto says and disappears with a buzz of static, the blondie shows up unexpectedly on his dad's head, will you educate him concerning the sword artist? Kurama inquires. No, Insight has disavowed this spot when her sibling passed on and her nephew taken by his own home, Naruto thought. Unexpectedly an Umbu shows up behind him with long purple hair and a veil having 3 red stripes embellishing it. Could I at any point help you Umbu-san? Naruto says. Hokage-sama wishes to see you and I'm known as Nico, she says, her tone even and clear. Naruto looks back and slants his head. I recollect you, he says and taps her shoulder. You were one of the great ones Nico-nichan, he adds and disappears by and by, before long followed by Nico. So what do you need Sarutobi? Naruto expresses, showing up before Hiruzen and disregarding the various jonin in the room. The more seasoned man gives the fair a look and shoots his head to one side, taking the blondie action to the side with an irritated thoroughly search in his blue eyes. As may be obvious, Naruto Uzumaki has without a doubt returned as I completed the process of making sense of, Hiruzen says. Meaning any thoughts of pursuing retribution or avenging the Yondaime kick the bucket here, I am simply under obligation to ruler Ozai not Sarutobi, so going after me is going after the fire master himself, Naruto contributes, stunning numerous in the room. Hiruzen moans and makes a sound as if to speak. Naruto will shadow our freshman groups, Sogai, Asuma, Kurinai stay behind, most of you excused, he orders and everybody gradually documents out with the exception of the 3 being referred to. Naruto sees a couple of menacing glares however he waves to Kakashi as the deviant has his nose in a little orange book. Yash, it's ideal to meet you Naruto-kun, Power Guy yells. Guy wears a green jumpsuit with a jonin vest, orange leg warmers, and the most inept bowl cut and eyebrows. Ideal to meet you as well, Naruto says. Asuma gazes dubiously at the light however broadens his hand. Asuma Sarutobi, he says yet Naruto doesn't shake it back. Sorry, I have had a terrible involvement in your faction or to be specific your dad, Naruto remarks. Exactly, Asuma says. He wears the standard Konoha clothing however adds a scarf from the fire priests and has a facial hair growth, likewise a cigarette additionally hanging in his mouth. I go by Kurinai Yuhi, Kurinai says and Naruto shakes her hand. Hi, Naruto says and slants his head, odd shade of eye tone, he adds, taking note of her fascinating red eyes. Much thanks to you, I've generally had them, Kurenai says. She wears a one-of-a-kind outfit too, of a red lattice reinforcement shirt with just the right sleeve noticeable and a dress that looks like swathes with an example on it like those of rose thistles. Well, I anticipate working with your groups for the short time frame I'm here, Naruto says, and every one of them three gesture. You can meet my group at Preparing Ground 10, it's where we'll meet. I figure you can move Shikamaru to go, Asuma says, and Naruto gradually gestures, as the three jonin leave. Kakashi lets me know you competed with his group, Hiruzen begins, and Naruto jeers. The Uchiha shows guarantee. He really wants to additionally develop his Sharingan. However, Danzo's pet is talented yet sincerely hindered. Haruno anyway is the reason regular folks don't become ninja, Naruto makes sense of. Sakura-chan could shock you, she has excellent grades in the foundation, Hiruzen says. Or on the other hand the principles are low, in any case I will see, Naruto says, and Hiruzen grimaces. He's not associating. I ask that different groups improve, Hiruzen thought, watching the fair. So where is my dad's home, Naruto asks. Hiruzen admires the fair yet moans. It was obliterated during the frenzy. Minato had begun residing at the Hokage Chateau half a month prior to the occasion, Hiruzen says, and Naruto tsks. Then whatever else, Naruto says. Hiruzen ascends to his feet and the blondie follows him to his office. Minato and Kushina had no wills except for the last option left something, Hiruzen expresses, going after Minato's representation and bringing it down. He opens a safe and takes out a medium estimated look to hand it to Naruto. Did they own property? Naruto inquires. I thought you were not worried about cash, Hiruzen states. However, Naruto moans, eliminating his shades. Disregard it. So when is the frog coming? Naruto says. Hiruzen lights his line into a little draw. In about 14 days, he'll need to really take a look at the seal, he says. Obviously he does. Realizing Kurama can move so unreservedly is startling, Naruto says. Is it due to the infection infused into you? Hiruzen says, and Naruto gestures, grinning as Kurama shows and bounces onto the seat. The infection has a wide range of transformed properties. On the off chance that it had will, I would say thanks to it, Kurama says. Goodness yes. Being joined with the DNA of potentially anything and an electric eel is generally appreciative, Naruto says, and Hiruzen curves an eyebrow. As I said before, the infection was blended in with an alternate things, one of which is an electric eel, hence the electric capacities. Alcina had a blood sickness and presently she really wants to ingest human blood to remain alive and developed to north of 7 feet. Gracious yes, we are generally grateful for itself as well as its maker, Naruto says, returning his glasses on. Goodness, I intend to purchase the whole floor of the lodging. I don't wish to be upset. My daily exercises can get very clearly, Naruto adds and changes direction suddenly to the embarrassed Hokage. After 14 days. Hi adoptive parent, Naruto expresses, sitting opposite Hiruzen. One of the incredible Densetsu no Sannin known as Jiraiya the Chivalrous was dumbfounded. I can barely handle it, Jiraiya says. Naruto lifts his shades and rubs his eyes. Yet it remains before you, no offense, he says, scouring Kurama on the head with his free right hand. The white-haired man wears a green short shirt kimono and matching jeans, with network shield that is noticeable at his wrists and lower legs, hand monitors. A dark belt, wooden shoes, and a red haori with 2 yellow circles on each side. I felt a similar Jiraiya, Hiruzen says. Jiraiya connects and Kurama snaps his teeth at him. Don't contact me with those hands, I can smell how you manage them, Kurama says, and Jiraiya falters. At any rate, how could you stay off the radar after you and this Alcina got away? Jiraiya expresses, shifting focus over to the transcending lady. For one, I matured around 5 years and Naruto's henges were genuine changes, Alcina says, smoking her kizuru. It was about a year prior to I believed I could take a gander at my own face. thus the tattoos, Naruto muses. Alcina locks her brilliant eyes on Jiraiya's dim eyes, but I bet he and his teacher are more worried about the 5 countenances, she says. Jiraiya squints his eyes and moves his look back to the light, however the fair just laughs, shaking his head. It should bring you disgrace to realize your godchild is a crook, partner with the fancy woman of epidemic Minami Amada or dealer of war Casper Hekmatyar and so forth, Naruto says. How is it that you could shape such a gathering? Why you ought to have been, Jiraiya begins, yet Naruto begins giggling. Goodness, I understand what this is, the prediction, Naruto says, and Jiraiya's breath hitches, causing Hiruzen to squint his eyes. Prediction, Hiruzen says. Well, the frogs have this prediction, a prescience divided between call tribes. I'm certain the monkeys have known about it. An understudy of the amphibian group will show a progressive of the shinobi world, so he's being attempting to do precisely that. Strike 3 and you're out. Naruto makes sense of, yet Alcina laughs. He implied for you to turn into his understudy like his dad before him, yet that fizzled. Alcina muses. Naruto ascends from his seat to look at Jiraiya without flinching. Predictions are intended to be only that prescience, not intended to characterize one's life. However, at that point once more, when one's name is straightforwardly referenced, rationale departs for good, he says. How would you are familiar the prescience, Jiraiya says. The regal subterranean insects, Naruto murmurs, inclining nearer to say it, and Jiraiya's eyes broaden. We're getting off point. Who are Minami Amada and Casper Hekmatyar, or the illustrious subterranean insects so far as that is concerned, Hiruzen says. The imperial insects are basically as old as frogs with regards to summons. Concerning Minami and Casper, well, the last option is a weapons vendor. Casper is essentially exploiting the fighting scene we live in. With respect to Minami, she's just a researcher, Naruto makes sense of. Tenacious sexually open researcher, Alcina mumbles. He offers weapons to the two sides to work with battles. Concerning her, she's an insane lab rat, somebody comparable to Orochimaru, Jiraiya says, and Naruto releases his ki. Cautious, Naruto murmurs, as the strain in the room rises. Quiet down, Hiruzen yells. However, Alcina pulls Naruto into her hurling chest, making the blondie quiet down. This caused a touch of desire from the men in the room, even Jiraiya, as he makes a sound as if to speak. In any case, the 5 countenances are perilous lawbreakers, Jiraiya says. Are we not all lawbreakers, regardless of how honorable our standards are? Naruto says and makes a sound as if to speak, fixing his hair. That is just 4 faces, war, epidemic, starvation and demise, Hiruzen says. Astuteness is last. She keeps us in line, and frankly, she was generally discontent with Naruto coming here, Alcina states. Who is she? Hiruzen asks. However, Naruto sways his finger. Sorry, that would ruin, Naruto says. Jiraiya goes to his teacher with a look, however, back to Naruto. I need to accept you as my disciple, he says, yet Naruto grunts, scouring his brow. No, nothing you say or do will change that. Rasengan, I can manage without it. Gathering, got a superior one. Fixing, I'm a Uzumaki and that bests you. So no, all I need from you is to flounder in disgrace for your activities, assuming that you had performed your responsibilities, both of you. I wouldn't be where I'm currently, Naruto says, jabbing Jiraiya in the chest with each point. Hiruzen and the secret heave as a few things ascend from their spots as Naruto grinds his teeth. Quiet down, Naruto, Alcina says. Naruto holds his left clenched hand with a glare all over, yet descends as scarcely any metal things tumble to the ground. Sorry, Alcina, Naruto says, disregarding their stunned looks and moans. You know, half a month prior to I seized, I saw this veil in a slow down. I had barely sufficient cash for itself and expected to get it. The retailer saw me and didn't remember me from the beginning, yet before long did he then kicked me in the chest and yelled at me enough for a group to frame. My cash tumbled from my hands. I had the daringness to take it. He then, at that point, took the cover and broke it on the ground before I ran off. The following day I saw a similar the businessperson being commended for doing that to me, Naruto adds. Furthermore, you anticipate that he should gladly seize the opportunity to serve this town. When regular folks do things like that, Alcina says. Naruto slicks back his light hair with a moan. I lost myself there briefly once more. In any case, I'll pass on the town for about 7 days to deal with private concern, Naruto says, and leaves with Alcina. A couple of moments pass after Naruto and Alcina leave as Jiraiya falls into a seat. What was that, he says. Whoever captured Naruto, they investigated him and friend Alcina. He says it upgrades his body, yet in addition gave him the capacity you recently saw, some sort control over Raiton to draw in and shock metal things. Hiruzen makes sense of. I bombed him, Jiraiya murmurs, and Hiruzen moans. We both did, Jiraiya. Naruto had to persevere such a great amount in his young life, Hiruzen says. Scene break. Naruto moans profoundly into the abundant chest of Alcina, their bare bodies under the sheets of his bed. However, her long legs were hanging off of it. The giantess moans yet strokes her sweetheart sinked back. Feel much improved, Alcina says. Better believe it. Sorry about the bed, Naruto muses. Alcina takes a gander at the roof with a look, however shakes her head. We'll go with a futon once we get back, she says. So where did Casper set things up, Naruto asks. Alcina pushes Naruto off of her and goes to one side, uncovering her tattoo of a seriously starved lady's face with the name starvation in her open mouth. He set things up somewhere between fire and downpour close to dark waterway. He even made the region look those old samurai, Alcina says. Naruto stays up with a look all over. That insane bonehead, he murmurs. Well, we'll get to meet the scandalous Pain and his holy messenger, Alcina remarks. Naruto rubs his neck and inclines back toward her hug. This is just to maintain order. We have comparative perspectives on specific individuals, he muses. Alcina handles Naruto under his jawline and gradually nibbles into the hoodlum of his neck, making him moan as she tests his blood and tissue. On account of Kurama's wicked chakra, this is a lot simpler and you really want considerably less, Naruto says. Feeling her sucking hard, Alcina pulls away with blood covering the lower a piece of her face as Naruto's injury sizzles and recuperates. I wish I presently not expected to do this, she murmurs. Naruto goes to her and cups the side of her face. Recollect those days in obscurity, you and I are for eternity, he says. I know, mon love, Alcina states, affectionately. We aren't intruding on anything, mother, the sisters express, showing up from the shadows. No, my little girls, talk, Alcina says. Naruto moans and moves off the bed to go for a virus shower as the sisters chuckle. God help us, not intruding on a thing, he murmurs. Fufufu, fail to remember him, my little girls, Alcina says. Orochimaru is coming to Konoha, Bella begins, and Alcina's eyes broaden yet shine dimly. At long last our prey comes to cook, Alcina murmurs. Indeed, mother. Orochimaru proceeds with correspondence with Danzo through a government operative known as Kabuto Yakushi. The One Ring filled us in about, Cassandra proceeds, as Alcina folds her legs. Danzo likewise means to involve Kazashi Haruno for his own points. He'll have him send powers after Naruto, in particular Hex, Daniela says, and Alcina gradually begins to grin. That young lady has been a torn in war's side for quite a while. On the off chance that Hex truly does come after Naruto, a rehash of the snow occurrence will occur, Alcina says, and the young ladies laugh. Then Naruto's subterranean insects and we will be taken care of quite well, the young ladies say, as one, and their eyes shine. Gracious yes, my girls, ought to Hex wish to meet her maker, we will be feed quite well, tea and carnivals for all, Alcina murmurs. Music, Mephisto's children's song, Stortion audio, loop. A couple of days after the fact, close to Dark Lake in Fire Country, the individuals from Five Face began to accumulate. Naruto and Alcina show up to the area of a scene of an old samurai film. banners with their tattoos were on shafts with Casper's men keeping watch around the area. Naruto wears some white jeans with dark ancestral plans on the past on leg to the last, a couple of silver-tipped boots, a perfectly sized white shirt, and finishes the outfit with a dark tail cover with purple trim and neckline, his shades with purple focal points, and dark gloves on his hands. "Naruto, are you alright? Are you eating great? Do you want some squeeze?" a voice says, in quick progression with a warm embrace, the proprietor being Cha-Heian, the inside of 5 faces yet to Naruto, his auntie Cha and more youthful sister of his dad Minato Namikaze. "You anguish too much, I'm with him," Alcina says. She wears a brace of form-fitting white pants with knee-breadth boots, accepting a aerial heel and atramentus buttons activity up the sides, a white dress shirt and a atramentus low-cut corset vest, atramentus gloves with a tailcoat agnate to Naruto but with orange in a bow of purple. "He's my nephew, I am advantaged to anguish about him," Cha says. She has connected albino beard canyon her amateur and framing her face with it pulled aback into a ponytail, azure eyes of a lighter adumbration to Naruto. She wears a brace of form-fitting atramentus pants, accepting red affiliated swirls up the appropriate leg and knee-breadth boots, a atramentus tailcoat buttoned up with gold, red, white adorning it and the cape actuality white. On the back of the accoutrement is a brace of white wings all embracing a Namikaze Association symbol. "A little too much," articulation playfully chides, the antecedent actuality Chiquita and Baton of Casper's guards the war hounds, her backwoods blooming eyes abounding of atrocity and a askew but apathetic axle on her face. "Where is Casper?" Naruto says, and Chiquita credibility to the tent. "We're still cat and mouse for pestilence, additionally ring and won't be abutting us due to you know. Oh, and Pinky is mad again," Chiquita says, cutting a adapted atramentus 3-piece accoutrement with a photic dejected dress shirt. Naruto leaves his aunt and Alcina to bolt up as he enters the accoutrement to finds 2 added of his fingers and his adolescent face of war Casper Hekmatyar. "Yo Naruto-kyun, aback so soon," Casper chirps, Baek Yunho additionally accepted as thumb and Choi Jonghyun accepted as index accost him with blunt nods. "I didn't anticipate we would accommodated so anon either, but I appetite to nip this in the bud," Naruto says. "True, addition with the eyes of the acclaimed sage is not addition to blend with foolishly," Casper comments. He has abbreviate white hair, swept to the larboard in a blaze anemic dejected eyes cutting a white-fitted, 3-piece suit, atramentus dress shirt and white tie with a trench coat on his shoulders. Emblazed on the back is his attribute of a red skull with abundant swords through it and war formed on the forehead. "Will a action breach out, hence the location," Choi says, adjusting his glasses. He has chestnut beard in a blind hairstyle featuring a connected binding disconnected in a ancillary parting. He wears a adapted blush-striped business suit, atramentus gloves and 8 rings on his rings. "I would rather a action not happen, no allegation to accumulate accidental attention," Beck comments. He is a able-bodied adolescent man with annoying orange hair, orange eyes, arresting basset teeth, and neatly akin sideburns with an adapted atramentus 3 allotment suit. "Where is that albino brat?" Articulation shouts and 3 blow but 1 giggles. The accoutrement accessory shoots accessible as the allegorical medic of the Densetsu Sannin Tsunade Senju storms in. "Lucky bastard," Choi and Casper thought. Tsunade wears a adapted 3-piece accoutrement like Beck but no coat, absolute a backwoods blooming dress shirt and white corset vest. "So how is sensei, does he doubtable I'm complex with you," Tsunade says. Naruto slicks aback his beard with a agitate of his head. "He nor Jiraiya as well," he says, and Tsunade folds her accoutrements beneath her 106 cm bosom. "Good, I don't allegation that bit's appropriate now," Tsunade says. "So what has you angry?" Naruto says, and Tsunade tsks. "Shizune is pregnant," Tsunade says, and Naruto arches an eyebrow, advancement for her to continue. Arg, I anticipation my aboriginal grandchild would be from you, Tsunade adds and Casper laughs, cautiously with a tap of Naruto's shoulders. Sucks for you and Shizun, now my little Coco is no best the focus of Tsunade's babyish craze, Casper says and Tsunade shoots him a look. Regardless, why are we a fair so soon, Tsunade says. Naruto-kun doesn't appetite a war with Akatsuki at the moment, Articulation muses, the aftermost affiliate of the Bristles Faces shows her face. It's not that I don't appetite a war with them, we allotment a agnate enemy, so a live calm is bigger than a part, Naruto muses. Doctor don't go too far from me, Articulation says and Minami giggles, as her bouncer Karen Lowe enters the tent. Karen has aphotic except breadth beard and dejected eyes with fair skin, cutting a adapted Atramentus accoutrement and white doctor coat. Hey Karen-chan, Valma-chan wants addition baton with you, playing with Coco isn't enough, Casper says. Boss, they're here, a bouncer says and the accumulation becomes serious. Well let's get this over with, Naruto says and the accumulation follows. The Bristles Faces of an anniversary added with 4 of the Bristles fingers abaft them as beyond from them were 6 paths of pain, the origami angel of aim accepted as Conan and the kinslayer Izumi Uchiha. Amid the 2 groups was a table with 2 backless chairs. It's nice to assuredly accommodated you face to face or rather to the face you administer Nagato, Naruto says, demography a seat, the advance isle of pain anchorage his bouncing amethyst blooming eyes, forth with Conan and Izumi. Oh I apperceive abounding things, now amuse sit and we'll get bottom ward to business, Naruto says, removing his sunglasses. The aisle has abbreviate annoying orange beard with several acute of a metal bar through anniversary ear, 3 studs through the ancillary of its high nose, and 1 fastened stud on anniversary end of the basal lip. As do I Kyubi Jinchuriki, alarm this aisle Deva Pain, the aisle says and Naruto smiles, bore the table, a bouncer brings a canteen of whiskey in 2 attack glasses, call me Naruto or death, Naruto says. Naruto afresh clears his throat as he pours 2 drinks, accusation 1 to Deva Pain. This anatomy can't drink, Deva Pain says. Naruto downs his alcohol with a glance to Conan and Izumi, sorry, they can alcohol it in your place, I animosity bubbler alone, he says. I'll do it, Izumi says, she has connected amber beard in a ponytail with bangs framing her face and Atramentus eyes. A birthmark beneath her appropriate eye wears the Atramentus with red Atramentus blind of the Akatsuki. I will as well, Alcina says, abutting an admiration to Naruto's larboard with her accoutrements folded, as a bouncer brings an armchair for Izumi. Naruto rubs his eyes with a blow and looks into Deva Pain's Rinnegan eyes. Anyway the acumen for this meeting, our 2 abandon accept not met but we accept both some accepted enemies, he starts. Common enemies, Conan says, she has short, beeline dejected beard with a bun, amber eyes with lavender eye shadow, and a Atramentus labret acute with lavender lipstick as well. Yes, Danzo Shimura, Orochimaru to name 2, Naruto says, Cloudburst Izumi addition alcohol and accusation it to her. Now our 2 abandon appetite the above asleep for affronts to them and by addendum Konoha but I can't accept that, Naruto says and Deva Pain's eyes narrow. Konoha should pay for our pain, Deva Pain says. Indeed Konoha acquired your affliction but such is war, there are arrangement of bodies who accept suffered the arrangement of affliction you accept felt, however none of them act, you act because you accept power, Naruto states. The ability of a god, Alcina adds. Indeed and that ability has admiring others to your account and that can account problems with our 2 sides, I ambition to abstain that, Naruto says. In what regard, as you say our abandon accept not beyond paths added that in accession bounties or members, Deva Pain says. Ah the old miser Kakuzu, that can't be helped but our abandon accept done anniversary as service, hence this affair to anticipate war amid our to abandon and conceivably accompany easily for a accepted foe, Naruto says. Common foe actuality Danzo, Deva Pain says, Naruto downs addition attack with a smile on his face, among others, you appetite animus on Danzo for your friend's afterlife and I appetite Danzo asleep for kidnapping me and a host of others, he says. I bethink you activity missing, so Danzo took you, Izumi says, demography her shot, Naruto accoutrement his boring aback to Deva Pain, him and Orochimaru as well, he muses. He affronted Naruto and I into monsters, killing innocent bodies in the action to accord us power, Alcina hisses, causing pain in his assembly to apprehension the acrid bend in her eyes. Look, I get you ambition for peace through affliction and all but candidly breadth is the fun in that, I created the bristles faces to see the apple we could make, whether it through war, famine pestilence afterlife or wisdom, and by apple one beggarly the little breadth of apple in which our accumulation lives. The apple at ample I could affliction beneath about but borrow in my apple and I will accompany hell aloft you, Naruto says, Deva Pain's eyes attenuated with a glance to Konan and Izumi, then what do you propose, he says. We abstain anniversary added as a able courtesy, a little you advise us and we advise you thing. You appetite animus on Konoha for their actions, able-bodied Naruto has already started on that, Casper says, Naruto alcove for his sunglasses and block them on, thanks to extenuative the granddaughter of the Blaze Daimyo. He gave me a award-winning and I told him I basic revenge, cliché I know, he starts. Danzo and Orochimaru fabricated my life, the lives of Alcina, Toma, Shiro, Katija, Momo, Reina, Itsuki, Mitsukuni, and who knows who abroad hell, Then they will die so the souls of my company can rest, however there is one I don't appetite to die, I appetite him disgraced, looked bottomward on with shame, forever scorned because of his naive cerebration which accustomed Danzo and Orochimaru to accomplish their crimes, Naruto states. Konan and Izumi blow as the automatic Azura Pain was abeyant in the air forth with abounding added metal items. Sorry aback I'm angry, my ability goes a bit haywire, Naruto says, absolution aggregate fall. What arrangement of ability can do such a thing, it was agnate to Sasori's third Kazekage puppet, Konan thought. You assume to accept ability to back up your claim, if you ambition accord amid our factions, I will allegation time to anticipate about it, Deva Pain says. That's fine, we can alike advise your country and you yourself, Minami is absolutely the doctor, she could conceivably advise you, Naruto says and Minami giggles, Deva Pain and Izumi acceleration from their chairs, I will accelerate a genin aggregation to Konoha's exams with my answer, he says. Konan explodes into cardboard as the paths of pain allay with the advice of Chikashoto Pain and Izumi explodes into annual petals. Well we didn't get a no, Casper says. The allowance were not in his favor, he is acute and will adapt himself, Cha states, attractive to her bashful nephew. It still abundantly bothers him, Tsunade muses, abutting Naruto and abduction the whiskey bottle. Both of us, Alcina says. So what now Naruto-kyun, Casper says, demography a bank beyond from him, Naruto arches a countenance as Casper giggles, for now we plan for a no, we asleep Tobi and Zetsu, application the closing for our purposes, however like Aunt Cha said, Nagato's acute and he'll say yes, besides the new Hokage will advise in cutting things, Naruto says. Ascent from his seat, the albino block off his accoutrement with a cycle of his neck, now, I allegation to accept some fun, aback we got this big basin and all, let's accept some fun, Naruto says and a agrarian axle forms on his face, Casper and Minami blow as the above grabs the ladder, run for you lives. The monsters are gonna play, Casper shouts, Cha and Kane draw their swords with aglow eyes of red and gold, as Beck's beard and eyes about face white, Tsunade cracks her duke as her honey eye alpha to glow, forth with Choi as he creates bonfire about his hands. Well, fighting is bigger than what added affair he does to accept fun, Ulchina muses, axes her easily into claws. Kizashi and his bouncer Dong-su accomplished their way through a ailing club in Otafukugai. Why is she alleged hex? Kizashi asks. She's a witch, but acceptable at her job in killing her enemies. Danzo-sama sees her as an acceptable asset, Dong-su says. He is a able-bodied adolescent man with a tremendous beard in a fizz cut, cutting red bodice and gray jeans with a gold alternation about his neck. The brace ability a clandestine allowance, but Kizashi hears moans and abundant breathing, afore Dong-su knocks active apprentice afresh 3 times slowly. Scene breach, Konohagakure. Team, I would like you to accommodated Naruto Uzumaki, Kurenai says and turns a back to Naruto. Naruto, this is my team. Kiba Inuzuka and his Ninken accomplice Akamaru, Shino Aburame and Hinata Hyuga, she adds. Naruto gives the 3 additional dog a babyish beachcomber with his larboard duke still pocketed. His sunglasses with a dejected cast this time. Kakashi's aggregation was abundant advance and your is tracking, Naruto says. You accept a acceptable eye, my aggregation specializes in tracking and capture. Hinata's Byakugan, Kiba and Akamaru's senses and Shino's Kikeichu are a solid combination, Kurenai says. My Kikeichu are abashed of you, Shino says and wears the bulky, obstructing accoutrement of the Aburame clan. My anatomy is actual bad for others, whether my chakra or my blood. It would be childish to let your Kikeichu sample or such. Hyuga-san, try your Byakugan, Naruto states. You do bomb weird, ailing and diseased, Kiba comments and Kurenai shoots him as attending but Naruto after affects his hand. Hinata activates her Byakugan and veins about her eyes become pronounced. It's dark, chakra is commonly blue but yours, she says and relaxes her eyes. She has a photic dejected beard in a hindcut and the features less white eyes of the Hyuga but with a lavender tint. Are you ailing and Naruto-san? Hinata asks. She wears a far-fitting, lavender and chrism hooded jacket with lavender cuffs over cobweb armor, fleet dejected pants, and black, low-heel sandals. One could say that, I am adulterated with communicable blood-borne disease, Naruto starts but raises his hand. You won't get adulterated unless you blot my blood, he adds, seeing their looks of relief. So what do you accept plan today, Kurenai-sensei? Naruto asks. I plan to accept my team's accomplishing a few D-rank missions, Kurenai says. Naruto removes his glasses to apple pie them with a hum. Well, I accept no allegation to do such, so I'll accommodated you addition day to conceivably batten with your team, he says. D-ranks advance teamwork and appearance Shinobi and Kunoichi who they will be protecting, Kurenai explains but gasps, seeing the scowl anatomy on Naruto's face. Naruto block his sunglasses back on with a sigh. That is Brett, you are wrong, able-bodied Brett, it applies to me. I am not apprentice to this village. To them I am the affair that attacked their apple in the anatomy of a human, not an innocent adolescent artlessly built in on that day and had the QB bankrupt into, he says and turns on his heels, pocketing his easily to airing off. What an asshole, Kiba says. Why you shouldn't say that Kiba-kun, and Naruto-san is from our village, Hinata says. I bethink him, he was generally the accountable of conjecture, Shino says. Now that you say that, I anticipate I bethink him, Mom consistently said to break abroad from him, Kiba comments. Kurenai accoutrement her boring to the beat of the blonde, I should apologize to him, but I am not abiding I can, she thought. You faculty them, Kurama says. Naruto strolls through the apple with his glasses on and his eyes closed. Of course, I'd rather not be abhorrent for the deaths of 3 association brood and their Jonin sensei, he thought. The albino anon makes his way arise the vaunted backwoods of afterlife or training arena 44. Afore leaping over the fence and into the forest, several blurs chase him into the backwoods as Naruto comes to a arrest in a ample clear. No allegation to run friend, articulation says. Naruto block off his glasses and apparel them from his shirt as several men cutting the Konoha accoutrements arise in advance of him. "Sorry friend," Naruto says, "the baton is a chunky man with annoying atramentous hair, neatly akin facial beard and several scars on his larboard arm. Oh alarm me Dong-suk and these are my friends," the baton of the accumulation says. Naruto could seize the artful smiles on their face, quite the accompany Dong-suk-on, "So how can I advise you," he says. Dong-suk cups his button with a smirk, "Well you can let my acquaintance Juntei annihilate you," he says and the others laugh. Naruto arches in countenance as Juntei approaches, his amber beard affronted with a babyish wolf tail at the back with his gray-black eyes abounding with arduous intentions. "May I ask you why?" Naruto says. "Music, Skylar Khan, War Machine." "Well because you're a demon and demons deserve to die," Dong-suk says. Naruto's eyes alpha to afterglow and drain into red, before he snaps Juntei's arch absolutely about and snapping his skull from his spine, with allotment of it abashed out. Dong-suk and his assembly eyes widen in shock as blackout fills the allowance as Juntei crumples. "K killed him," Dong-suk roars. Every one of them bung their kunai and shuriken arise the albino but all them stop bald-headed inches from the blonde, abominable them as Naruto smirks and kisses one. "Here accept them back," Naruto says, sending them aback faster than they were thrown. Dong-suk and Cho-gyuhwan were quick abundant to acting with a log as the blow were cut bottomward by their own weapons. "Katan, Karyuden," Gyuhwan roars, aberrant signs to Tiger and inhaling, he fires a ample advancing arise the albino but he artlessly dodges with his easily pocketed, abrogation abreast after images. What the hell?" Gyuhwan shouts but annihilation added as his abutting is airtight from a bang kick. Dong-suk stares with advanced eyes and a abashed announcement on his face but draws his katana, charging the albino from behind. "Die demon," Dong-suk shouts but his brand misses the blonde. Dong-suk turns to accept his face effective and his anatomy airtight into a tree. "Wait, don't annihilate me, spare me, I can accord you money," he sputters, activity a few argosy pop in his larboard eye. Naruto tilts his arch as the smile on his face apprenticed leaves to be replaced by a algid look, alarming Dong-suk. If you annihilate me, and my little brother," Dong-suk starts but screams, as several weapons pin his anatomy to the tree. Naruto aback walks with his easily pocketed and aphotic axle on his face. "Do you candidly accept that will save you?" he says. The albino raises a half-ram assurance and holds out his larboard arm vertically. Dong-suk gasps through affliction as argent dust emerges from Naruto's larboard sleeve and glove. "You apperceive they say afterlife carries a scythe as their weapon, however I adopt the hammer," Naruto says, as the argent dust melds into a ample club bang with a connected handle. Dong-su screams as the bang flies arise his arch but stops bald-headed inches from his nose. "Don't anguish, I'm not gonna annihilate you," Naruto says but cool wide, "Yet anyway," he adds. Naruto block his sunglasses back on and clears his throat. "So let's begin. Who do you assignment for?" he starts, affairs the bang back. "Kakashi Haru Dong-suk starts, afore his appropriate leg is ashamed at the knee. Naruto tilts his arch as colligiosity covers his face and abrogation two dejected orbs. "I ask again, who do you assignment for?" he says. "Kizashi Dong-suk cries, now his appropriate arm ashamed at the bend and tears alive bottomward his face. "Blind loyalty, Danzo, you accomplished them well," Naruto thought, afore crushing Dong-suk's face. Naruto releases the weapons from Dong-suk's anatomy and it collapses with a thud, before his bang broiled aback into dust. The dust slinks its way aback up Naruto's larboard arm to achieve aback into his countless of Naruto's appropriate audacity opens up and claret runs bottomward his face but he catches the wrist of a woman. "I would admonish adjoin that, I accept a actual advancing and communicable blood-borne disease," Naruto muses. "How aggressive," a feminine articulation croons. Naruto lets go of the wrist and thumbs the cleric to lick it off his glove, kills 10 out of 10 and your cardinal 11, he says, access to a woman. She is absolutely annoying with pupilless ablaze amber eyes and violet beard in a short, spiky, fanned-out ponytail. She wears a adapted cobweb anatomy accoutrement to her thighs, a tan overcoat with a amethyst inseam and a abridged on anniversary side, a photic orange miniskirt, a photic dejected belt and anemic blah shin guards. So what's acumen you asleep them? He's a jonin, the woman says, pointing to Dong-suk's corpse. Naruto pulls off his gloves and folds them together, afore casting them up and alarming a beck of flames. And I'm Naruto Uzumaki, I'm abiding you've heard me, Naruto says. The Kyubi Jinchuriki that waltzed aback in the apple and is the baton of the bristles faces, Enko says. Naruto makes a complete amphitheater with his accoutrements up. How do I add measurement up, he asks. Interesting, so why can't I aftertaste your claret besides some claret disease, Enko says. Your ass munching above sensei, Naruto says and Enko's eyes attenuated but the albino places a feel to his ear and his appropriate duke over his mouth. Enko sees the lower jaw of a skull on his hand. Her boring drifts up the arm seeing the alpha of abundant scars, eyes, veins and flames. Some nice ink, Enko says, boring abstracted down. Naruto flexes his fingers with a smirk, made with appropriate brownish ink too. You into tats, I can angle you up, he says. I'll accept to anticipate about, Enko says and looks around. You should go, I'll apple pie this up, she adds. Sure, if you're interested, I'm at the Royal Leaf. I bought out the absolute top floor, Naruto says and vanishes with static. Enko sighs and pulses her chakra to active an Umbu patrol. Interesting gaki, she muses. Song ends. Scene break. Naruto stares in the abounding breadth mirror at his assorted tattoos, the abounding sleeves on both accoutrements and his aback boom of his symbol. His appropriate was fabricated to attending like acerbic has been splashed on the arm and ate abroad to acknowledge cartilage and muscle. Aloof beneath his larboard pec were the names of Toma, Shiro, Katija, Momo, Reina, Itsuki and Mitsukuni. All of them suffered with him and Elchina but were appear from that bent life. Soon my friends, your souls will be avenged, Naruto thought. The albino grabs a form-fitting orange sweater and block it on, affairs on the suspenders from his gunmetal blah burden jeans. He afresh grabs 6 bracelets that bifold as chakrams, bottom ward 3 on anniversary wrist and a brace of atramentus gloves. He afresh slicks aback his albino beard and block on a brace of sunglasses with red tint, afterwards a brace of action boots. A beating at the aperture catches his absorption and the albino answers it to see Nico continuing in the doorway. Can I advise you? Naruto asks. Hokage-sama has requested your attendance for a mission, Nico says. Naruto sighs and grabs his weapons pouch, accepting it to his lower back and follows Nico to the Hokage tower. I would like to see you al fresco of business hours to bolt up, Naruto muses, leaping from roof to roof with Nico. I will attack to set things up, Nico replies. The brace admission at the Hokage belfry and Nico retakes her column as Hiruzen sits at his desk. You accept a mission for me? Naruto asks. Hiruzen looks the albino in his red brave eyes. Enko told me what happened in the forest, he starts and the albino scoffs. However accordingly I do allegation you for a mission. Team 7 has run into agitation on their aboriginal C-rank mission, the applicant Arya and Kakashi absentatively to abide admitting the risks to Namino Kuni, Hiruzen continues. And you appetite to me to abetment them. Clever, it puts me in a bigger ablaze with the apple of acceptable the Uchiha darling in Haruno Eris. I see Brett the snake gets his attributes from, Naruto says and Hiruzen encourage his eyes. The accuracy is I don't appetite you in the village, Dong-su will breach it afar already he learns you asleep his brother, Hiruzen says. Naruto leans on the board with a axle on his face. Do you anticipate I affliction what the beef apprenticed Adelpate does? However aback they went to Nami, it coincides with article for me. So I'll booty the mission, will I get teammates, the albino asks, but the earlier man all overs his head. Of advance I don't, able-bodied no matter, I'll acknowledgement them alive, Naruto says, branch for the window. Oh my Abaird's allowance has annihilation of value, so try not to about-face it upside bottom ward for anything, Naruto adds and leaps out. Hiruzen leans aback in his armchair and pinches his adenoids in frustration. That boy, he thought, his appointment aperture anon opens as Hamura and Koharu admission with looks on their faces. What now, Hiruzen says. That boy has murdered someone, several of our forces, Koharu starts. Where is he? He should be confined for this, Hamura adds. Hiruzen sighs, and picks up his glasses to blooper them aback on. Naruto was justified as they attacked him first, a attestant can ascertain that, except you abandoned that Naruto is accustomed by aristocratos eye. The laws in the apple do not administer to him, he says, and both are angry. He should be at atomic find, they were bodyguards for Kazashi, Koharu says. Why does a civilian allegation shinobi bodyguards of Dong-suk or Dong-su's level? Conceivably I allegation to attending into that, Hiruzen says, and both abide quiet. At the aforementioned time Dong-su stares at the burst anatomy of his earlier brother, who, he hisses, aperture his ki. It was Naruto Uzumaki, Fu says, and Dong-su gnashes his teeth. Where is he? Dong-su asks. He's larboard the apple for Nami, Danzo-sama does not appetite you to move on him. Fu starts and Dong-su unleashes added ki. At the moment, Fu continues. Orochimaru will be advancing to the exams, Uzumaki will be advanced into a allurement with one of his people, you can accord with him then, Fu finishes, Dong-su clenches his anchor as his eyes afterglow red, I will rip him limb from limb and drove his skull like he did my brother, he hisses. Scene breach, 2 canicule later. Naruto looks up at the partially accomplished arch with a babyish smile on his face, beautiful architecture Fubuki, he muses, Fubuki above henchwoman of Dodo Kazahana but now loyal Kunoichi of Koyuki Kazahana stands abutting to Naruto, indeed, she muses. She has blooming eyes and blush annoying beard with babyish annular aphotic blush eyebrows, she wears a Kunoichi Shizoku with a blaze dejected bathrobe anorak on top with the badge of Yukigekure on her hitayate about her neck. Naruto met Fubuki as he was abrogation Konoha and her advancing to Konoha to accommodated with him about things. How is Koyuki? Naruto asks, as they run forth the water. She is accomplishing well, the admixture reflex Bao-yu and Minami-sama fabricated for her has added her skills, though she does absence seeing you, Fubuki replies and the albino boring nods, Naruto and Fubuki ability the basic island and accomplish their way to the town, of advance she does, he muses. The boondocks itself was attractive bankrupt and bodies were begging, attractive absolutely defeated and no achievement in their eyes. Seems Gato has put this country on the border of collapse, Naruto muses. Adjusting his sunglasses and sending out his senses, Fubuki has a attending of disgust on her face but could see a few men leering at her. Will you annihilate him? Fubuki says and Naruto smirks, as both vanish, the brace acquisition a bank in with 2 belief and a average at measurement doc, he's demography money from Casper for taxes apropos aircraft for the aircraft lanes he controls, Naruto says. You ability appetite to adumbrate your hair, a babe may anticipate your related, Naruto adds and Fubuki arches in countenance but complies, application a jutsu to about face her blush beard to black, the albino afresh knocks a few times on the aperture and the complete of anxiety echoes. Afore it slides accessible to see Sakura staring aback at him. Why are you here? Sakura says but Naruto ignores her and accomplishes central with Fubuki. Where is Kakashi? Naruto says, to a woman with aphotic dejected hair, she wears a short-sleeve blush shirt with the end of the sleeves and the collar actuality red in color, additionally a connected dejected skirt. Hello, my name is Tsunami and he's upstairs, the woman says. I'm Naruto Uzumaki and this is Fubuki, where Kakashi's backup, Naruto says and Tsunami gasps, mostly in abatement and beckons for them to chase with Sakura in tow. Where is your teammates? Naruto asks. Sasuke-kun and Sai are with Tazuna the arch-builder, Sakura says, with a abrupt tone. The allegorical copy ninja was laying on his back with his abandoned eye on the axle with the sounds of the sea abatement him into relaxation. Bad assuming Kakashi, Naruto says and Kakashi turns his arch to see Naruto with a woman. Sandem-sama beatific you as backup, Kakashi says and Naruto boring nods, appropriation his glasses. So why did you continue, the applicant aria about the mission, Naruto asks, cutting a glance to Tsunami and the woman flinches. I anticipation my aggregation could handle it and I didn't appetite to accident Konoha's reputation, Kakashi says and Naruto sighs. What happened in Alpha from the beginning, Naruto says, abrading his eyes. Kakashi sighs and boring sits up with Sakura and Tsunami's help. First we encountered the demon brothers, Sasuke and Sai were able to celerity them afterwards I apish my afterlife to analysis them, he starts and Naruto, forthwith Fubuki shoot attending to Sakura. After acquirements the brothers were afterwards Tazuna, he came apple pie and abreast us of Gato, Kakashi continues and groans, I put it to a vote and my aggregation voted to continue, he adds. They bear our help, Sakura says and Naruto scoffs silently. Noble but foolish, you didn't apperceive who would appear next, Naruto says and looks to Kakashi, so who came next, he adds. Zabuza Momochi, we fought but I got careless, my aggregation adored me and I managed to stop Zabuza, however a affected Hunternin stepped in, hitting him with Senbon and demography him, Kakashi finishes. So Zabuza is alive, Naruto says and Kakashi nods, afore the albino sighs. Where did the Senbon land, Fubuki asks. The neck, Kakashi says but anchorage his eyes at Fubuki but they widen, causing her to smirk. You accept annihilation to abhorrence copy ninja, I know best serve Dodo Kazahana but the accurate adjudicator of snow, Koyuki Kazahana, Fubuki says. We can allocution about that later, so the hunter put him in faux afterlife state, acceptation you accept 2 weeks at the best afore he's up to snuff, Naruto says. I plan to alternation my aggregation for it, Kakashi says and Naruto all overs his head. Do that, Fubuki and I will watch your client, Naruto says and rises to his feet, afore attractive to Sakura. Take this time to absolutely abound stronger. You accord Kunoichi a bad name, Naruto says, abrogation the allowance with Fubuki blockage to booty affliction of Kakashi and Sakura cutting a blaze to Naruto. Your activity to advise us, Tsunami asks, afterward the blonde, Naruto pockets his easily with a sigh, only because allowance your country, helps me as Gato has fabricated some choices that will be the account of his death, he says, leaving. How blue-blooded of you, Kurama comments. Only because we can accretion this country as a aircraft hub, Naruto thought. The albino makes his way to the arch in catechism and finds Sasuke with Sai attention their client. Why are you here? Sasuke asks. Back up for your mission, you allegation be Tazuna, Naruto says. The earlier man with blah beard adjusts his glasses and wipes his countenance with his towel. Yeah and who are you, he asks. Naruto Uzumaki, Naruto says and Tazuna gasps, as a animate Axel rises from the pile. And I accept I can help, Naruto says. Sasuke was advanced-eyed as able-bodied but Sai's eyes were narrow. Did the progenitor virus absolutely work? I allegation admission a sample of his cleric for Danzo-sama, Sai thought. I assumption you can, Tazuna says. He wears a sleeveless V-neck shirt with an obi, pants and a brace of sandals. Good, Naruto says, animated with a glint in his eyes. A few hours canyon and the accumulation allotment to the abode with the advantageous day. How were you able to do that? Tazuna asks. I'm actual special, Naruto muses. The accumulation finds Fubuki sitting at the table with a cup of tea, while Tsunami was authoritative banquet for them as Sakura was cat and mouse for Sasuke. Grandpa, a adolescent articulation shouts. Inari, Tazuna says, adhering his grandson. Naruto arches in countenance but ignores the boy. How's Kakashi, he asks. He'll be up and effective about tomorrow, Fubuki replies, and Naruto lifts his glasses, upbraiding his eyes. Who are they? Inari asks. He has annoying atramentous beard and dark color eyes, cutting a blooming jumpsuit with a chicken shirt and a simple brace of sandals with a blue-white band hat beneath the brim. They are Naruto Uzumaki and Tazuna starts. I'm Fubuki, Fubuki says, and Tazuna nods. Why yes Fubuki, their actuality to advise Kakashi and his team, Tazuna adds, but Naruto sees the attending of acrimony basic on the boy's eyes. Then they'll die like them too, Gato is too strong, Inari shouts. Naruto chuckles with a glint in his addictive eyes. Gato asleep edition abutting to you, so you accept there is no hope, how beautiful but clashing all of you, I do not accept that, so watch as Anon Gato will die and your perceptions destroyed, he says. Inari glares at the Naruto and runs up to his room. How can you be so beggarly to him, Sakura says, and Naruto sighs, abrading his forehead. Your artlessness is astounding. The apple is abundant altered than Konoha's rose atramentous eyes. The apple is dark, algid, and bodies like Gato are added abundant that you think, Naruto says. Tsunami finishes banquet but Naruto declines to eat with them and goes to the roof to lay down. The foolishness of some, Naruto thought, arch his accoutrements abaft his arch and attractive at the sky. Flashback. Naruto lays on the algid attic of a cell, his 8-year-old anatomy starting to appearance abundant scars from the circadian prodding. Naruto flinches as the corpuscle aperture creaks accessible and a amount enters. Kukuku, hello Naruto-kun, how are you feeling? Articulation says, the buyer of the articulation actuality Orochimaru. His snake-like chicken eyes bound on the babyish blonde. WIC can't I go home, Naruto whispers. Orochimaru accomplish and moves after peace with a affected anxious attending on his face. You can't Naruto-kun, I've told you time and time again, you can't go home, I allegation your help, he says. Don't you appetite to advise me like Momo did, Orochimaru says. Naruto starts to cry and clamp his fists. Why you asleep Momo-chan, he whispers, as the snake Sannin unlocks his chain. Orochimaru freezes the albino with his key and drags the albino off for abstracts to adapt his anatomy for a new virus. A few hours afterwards Naruto was tossed into a new cell. Abreast the window was an anemic babe with connected atramentous beard and abridgment afterglow honey eyes. Naruto accoutrement his abandoned boring on the girl. Who are you, he whispers. Alchina, who are you, the babe says, audacious at Naruto. The little albino winces in affliction with abundant bruises on his body. And Naruto Uzumaki, he whispers. Flashback end. Naruto opens his eyes and slams his anchor on the roof, crushing an ink-like abrasion with a sigh. He sits up and leaps bottomward from the roof as the clouds move beyond the sky. You would be absorbed not to advance this further, otherwise I will accomplish you disappear, Naruto muses. Sai accomplish out of the colligiosity with his affected smile on his face. I apologize, he says. So we accept anniversary other, Naruto says, and Sai nods, as the albino vanishes. He's dangerous, Danzo-sama will not be pleased, Sai thought. The abutting morning Sasuke corners Naruto in the bath as the albino was wiping his upper body, giving the Uchiha abounding appearance of his scars and tattoos. Do you appetite something? Naruto asks. Sasuke blinks and nods his head. Yeah, in private, he says. Naruto block on a undershirt and beckons for Sasuke to chase him outside. So what about, Naruto asks, continuing on the berth and attractive at the water. You came from the basic right, Sasuke starts and Naruto arches his countenance but boring nods. Meaning you saw my brother Itachi, he went to the basic afterwards what happened, Sasuke continues. Naruto absolutely turns to Sasuke with his easily pocketed, and, is that declared authority some acceptation for me? I don't alive in the capital, I conduct business there, Naruto says. Look, I appetite to avenge my association and our father, our mother is in a blackout because of that night, so if Itachi won't do it, I will, Sasuke says, about shouting. Naruto chuckles and block his blooming brave sunglasses over his eyes. I apperceive the feeling, you saw the names beneath my peck, he says, and Sasuke nods. They died for biased agency and I will avenge them. However, the aberration amid you or I is, that I accept the ability to do so, Naruto says, walking canyon the now affronted Sasuke. However, you say Itachi isn't accomplishing annihilation to avenge the Uchiha. You're wrong, Naruto says, and Sasuke whips about, but Naruto was already gone. Scene breach. 2 weeks later. Team 7 accomplished their way to the Tazuna's arch with Naruto in tow and Fubuki blockage abaft to accumulate an eye on Tazuna's family. The aftermost 2 weeks has been an assignment for the albino as Kakashi accomplished his aggregation timberline and baptize walking to bolster their affluence forth with a few jutsu for Sasuke. Sakura artlessly was the aboriginal to adept the exercise with her abject chakra basin, but Sai apish actuality additional and Sasuke in the final sport. This angered the Uchiha, but Kakashi placated that women accept abate affluence appropriately bigger control. Inari assuredly absolutely blew up at the accumulation about them absent to advice and alleged them fools for a like cerebration of activity adjoined Gato. Naruto promptly abandoned the boy and it assumed to infuriate him added, but Kakashi took the anatomy abreast to appease to him. What is this? Tazuna shouts, seeing his workers on the ground. Several of them were laying on the arena with burst cops and tools. Could it except been, Kakashi thought, a blubbery broom rolls in and Team 7 apprenticed beleaguer Tazuna as Naruto keeps his easily pocketed. Sorry to accumulate you waiting, Kakashi, you alike brought those brats and it seems one more, attending one of them is trembling, poor thing, articulation echoes about them, aback bristles copies of the aforementioned man appears about with actual ample brand as Sasuke smirks, abominable the man. I'm abashed with excitement, Sasuke says. Nah, it's fear, Naruto comments. Zabuza's animation hitches at not aloof Naruto, but aback Sasuke takes out all the clones, cutting a blaze to the blonde. Zabuza appears not too far in advance of them with addition amount cutting a hunter affectation connected atramentus hair. Naruto moves in advance of Team 7 with a abreast smile on his face and causal air about him. D-Death SA, the amount starts but Naruto places a feel to his appropriate ear and a duke over his mouth. So why are you alive for Gato, money that bound Zabuza-san, Naruto says. Zabuza grits his teeth abaft his cast mask. This complicates things, he thought. Unlike you, I can't allow to aces and accept who I assignment for, Zabuza says. He wears a sleeveless atramentus shirt and analogous pants, complete with a waist guard, and Kirigakure's striped wrist and leg warmers. While accurate but to assignment for algae like Gato, who doesn't pay in the end, why not assignment for me instead? I'll absolutely pay you, Naruto says. What are you doing? Sakura shouts. Naruto glances aback with a blow and a bare look. Saving your lives and Tazuna's life, he says. What do we do, Zabuza-sama? We can't action Death-sama, the hunter says. They abrasion a olive pinstripe accoutrements with a blooming haori accepting white trimmings, and about their waist a amber bandage with a belted aisle captivated about the waist active with light brown army sandals. I apperceive that Haku, Zabuza says, arresting his acclaimed Kubikurabocho. Work for you, the abominable merchant of death, Zabuza says, and Naruto chuckles. Why not? I'm consistently on the coursing for talent. I've could alike get a back into Kiri. I apprehend the civilian war is on the outs. The rebels are abutting to killing Yagura, Naruto says, walking a few accomplish forward. Really, I anticipation your little assemblage would adulation the civilian war, Zabuza says, and Naruto cooled darkly, alarming Haku a bit. True, but Bristle's faces don't subscribe to what Yagura is doing, no amount how agnate we are, Naruto says, bore his whiskers. Zabuza's animation hitches and eyes hardly widen. I see, conceivably it would be in best interest, he says. Good, we can altercate your severance with your employer, Naruto says, pointing. Team 7 blow as Zabuza looks to see Gato and about 3 dozen armed thugs. Gato, why did you appear here? Zabuza says. Gato slams his pikestaff on the arch with an affront on his face. Our action has changed. You bootless me 2 abounding times and still are, he says, his small, annular atramentous glasses glinting. He wears a atramentous accoutrement with a amethyst tie, a chicken shirt beneath his accoutrement and closed-toed shoes. So I absolutely not to pay you and aggregate your compensation from Kirigakure, so you're gonna die here, Gato says. Naruto removes his sunglasses and dangles them from his appropriate abridged jean. Gato-han, at aftermost we meet, Naruto declares. Gato's eyes widen in abhorrence but attenuated quickly. This is alike better. I can annihilate you too, he shouts. Naruto strolls advanced and raises his chargeless hand, causing the thugs to blow as their weapons lift from their hands. What is that? Sakura shouts. Kakashi raises his Hitaiate to acknowledge his Sharingan with a abashed look. I don't apperceive Sakura. Some arrangement of Kekai Genkai, he says, the thugs attending up at their abeyant weapons, but Naruto accidentally brings his duke down. Acute the thugs with said weapons as he never breaks stride. Gato skitters abroad and avalanche on his rear as all his thugs were asleep and dying from their own weapons. Gato-han, Naruto says, and Gato turns to accept his pierced, with a argent brand digging into the bridge. Zabuza-sama, what was that? Haku says. Death, Zabuza says. Sakura and Tazuna apprenticed assault to the ancillary of the arch to barf as Sasuke stood with advanced eyes. He's powerful, Sasuke thought. Gato-han, it's not nice to piss off afterlife in any fashion, Naruto says, argent metal advancing from his sleeve and glove. D-damn you, Gato hisses, colligiosity awning the high bisected of Naruto, but leave 2 aglow orbs breadth his arch is. Some day I may be accursed but not today, he says, for electricity surges out his body. Gato screams in affliction as electricity courses through his body, his anatomy starting to bake from the central until Naruto shuts off the ambit by pulls his sliver brand chargeless and it block a back into his tattoos. Good auctioning to a apologetic fuck, Zabuza says. Naruto accurately his easily with a breast smile on his face. Good auctioning indeed, now arch to his admixture and arrested for me, accomplishments and the like accompany to me, bisected of what you acquisition is yours, he says. You got it bang up man, Zabuza says, as both he and Haku vanish. Naruto? Kakashi says. Naruto turns to Kakashi with Duke in pockets. Something amiss Kakashi, Gato and his thugs are dead, Tazuna is safe and Nami is now free, Naruto says. Putting that abreast for the moment, what was that? Kakashi says. Naruto glances aback to Gato's austere anatomy but to the accumulation of bodies, some still animation at the moment. I'm abiding Sarutobi told you about it, however it's a afterimage to behold, it's a aggregate of magnetism and Raiton, Naruto says and rolls up his sleeve to appearance his tattoos. The ink in my tattoos is brownish ink, acknowledgement to my abilities I can dispense it and accelerate a allegation through it if needed, Naruto adds but snaps his fingers. I should accord with the mess, you ability appetite to accomplish the broom thicker, a agglomeration civilians don't allegation to see what is about to happen, Naruto says and pulls off his appropriate glove. Naruto boring weaves signs and slams his appropriate Duke bottom ward as Kakashi gasps, seeing a ample arrangement anatomy and abundant puffs of smoke. Team Booty Tazuna a back bottom ward now, Kakashi shouts, authoritative the broom thicker, loud chittering echoes in the broom as Team 7 do as they are told, a fair ample accumulation of civilians advanced by Fubuki and Inari. So those are the royal ants, Kakashi says. Naruto rubs the back his abutting with a nod as abundant and actual ample all-overs were starting to absorb Gato and his thugs. Master, chiffon articulation says. Kakashi gasps as humanoid ant approaches and kneels to one knee in advance of Naruto. Meet Baro, the strongest of the royal ants, he says. Baro is atramentus in blush with a glow white eyes and his wings were like a chiffon smoke. Some he's like the bang-up summon, Kakashi asks. The queen is the bang-up summon, I am artlessly the strongest, Baro says, his accent that of an actual monarch. Make abiding to leave nothing, Naruto says and Baro bows his head, abiding to his brethren. How did you get your easily on such a summon, Kakashi says. Naruto folds his accoutrements and thumbs his button afterwards he block his glasses back on. Better you don't know, he says. Scene break. It has been 2 weeks aback the annihilation on the arch and Naruto's application of Zabuza with Haku, both bringing the accomplishments Gato Blanket and the albino abiding them to Tazuna. The arch-architect and Sakura were actively alienated the albino out of abhorrence from what they witnessed but took the accomplishments to acknowledgement them to the townspeople. The added associates of Team 7 didn't abstain the albino but Sasuke seemed motivated to abound stronger due to Naruto's affectation of power. Sai connected a broad ascertainment for his adept and Kakashi approved affix with the albino but failed. Currently Naruto is laying on Tazuna's roof with Fubuki abrogation him the day above mentioned to acknowledgement to Yuki. Zabuza and Haku should be on their way to accommodated Kane. Casper should be application Gato's afterlife and to move in to booty his aggregation but added chiefly his aircraft lanes, Naruto thought. Naruto, Kakashi says, actualization on the roof. Naruto lifts his sunglasses with a channeled of his countenance as Kakashi sighs. Are you absolutely leaving? Kakashi asks. Naruto puts his sunglasses back down. Of course, I am no best needed. Gato and his thugs are dead. I'm abiding your aggregation can handle any stragglers. Besides Tazuna and his ancestors are abashed me, he says and Kakashi frowns abaft his mask. You can change that, Kakashi says but Naruto snorts. I don't affliction to, Naruto muses, accepting to his anxiety and blanket off his rear. If you arise to get back to Konoha for me, let Sarutobi apperceive I went to the basic for business, Naruto says, leaping from the roof. Naruto leaves the breadth of Tazuna's inn and into the forest, removing his appropriate cuff forth the way. Kuchios no jutsu, Naruto says, slamming his appropriate duke on the ground. A ample animation of smoke erupts as a ample red ant with wings appears. Is there crisis to the colony? Yaha, they will burn, it hisses. Calm bottom-ward inferno. I allegation you to booty me to the capital, Naruto says, aggressive on Inferno's back. Oh yes my queen, for the royalty, blaze crows, as they booty to the skies and the albino sweat drops. Something is actively amiss with that ant, Kurama comments. Scene breach, 1 week afterwards, Blaze capital. Naruto sits in a tea abode with his legs beyond and a table amid him and Itachi Uchiha, anon to be Godame Hokage. How is the village? Itachi asks. He has atramentus eyes, beneath which are long, arresting tear troughs, jet black beard pulled aback in a low ponytail and frames his face with center-parted bangs that continue to his chin. Naruto takes a sip of his tea and takes in the abatement aroma. Sarutobi is accomplishing aggregate to fix his mess. His admiral abhor me, its bodies are boring starting to bethink me but are in for a abrupt activation if they accept I am still the adolescent they could bang around, he states and Itachi frowns. Much assignment will allegation to be done, Itachi says, bubbler his tea. He wears a light blue shirt with the Uchiha attribute on the shoulders, aphotic blooming burden pants, shin guards and a black, open front accessory with white chunk on the bottom. I haven't met any of the association active yet but their brood are affable, I've apparent all of them save the Inoshikacho alone because I had to save your brother's team, Naruto says. Bistro a allotment of dumpling. Itachi frowns cautiously at the anticipation of his little brother. How is Sasuke, he asks. A little array of angst but a acceptable affection is underneath. He wants to avenge your association and some could booty advantage of that assertive attitude, Naruto replies. As Hokage I can achievement to change that. Konoha has become a abode accomplished with corruption, Itachi says. Afterwards a dumpling. Naruto recrosses his legs with a sigh. Sarutobi's additional appellation and appendage end of his aboriginal has begot that corruption, Danzo, Orochimaru to name the best corrupt, he says. Speaking about Danzo, why you apparent Izumi, Itachi says. Naruto lifts his amethyst lens sunglasses to his forehead. I did, she's acceptable I would say, we did not allege much, he says and sighs. I agnosticism she would accusation you for what happened to her brother, already you booty the mantle. You can accompany her home, he says and a coy axle forms. Besides should you be cerebration about Izumi, that wife of castigation ability get upset, Naruto says and Itachi glares at him but Naruto sees the woman in question. Speak and there she is, hello Ryuko-chan, Naruto says, bouncing and bistro a dumpling. Itachi looks aback to his wife and anon to be mother of his child, abutting with a pot of beginning tea. Hush you albino brat, Ryuko says, she has chin-length blonde silver hair, swept aback with a blooming headband, a connected binding over the appropriate ancillary of her face, accoutrement her appropriate eye that are green. Are we clear, Naruto asks. You two are my aftermost customers, Ryuko says, she wears a photic red, acceptable cheapao with a aperture on the larboard side, chicken barb patterns on the basal and abate ones about her abutting with knee-length boots, fourth with sleeve-like white gloves that about ability her shoulders. Naruto catch his duke and a beating of chakra and his senses beating about the shop. You should be the aboriginal to know, I plan to implant the eye while I'm here, he says and Itachi anchorage his eyes, while Ryuko hardly gasps. Won't you run into the aforementioned issues Kakashi Hitaki has, Ryuko asks but the albino smirks. Thanks to the progenitor virus and my different architecture it won't be a problem. Minami will accept a appropriate acquaintance to adumbrate it as well, Naruto replies. What brings this on, Itachi says. Naruto sighs with a scowl on his face. Orochimaru will be advancing to Konoha, he says and drinks some tea. He's planning an aggression with Suna. His attraction with the Sharingan has accomplished a agitation pitch. Ring and my little aberration tells me that he has a jutsu to booty over a person's body, Naruto explains. Then Sasuke or mother, Itachi starts but Naruto raises his hand. I'll accumulate an eye on Sasuke and I'll accept the sisters on your mother, Naruto adds and crosses his legs. After this business with Konoha, I can focus on Kumogakure, Naruto says and Itachi arches an eyebrow. Casper has an central clue that Kumo will anon move to Addendum Frost, Naruto says and their animation hitches. Among the five, Kumo has maintained their angry ways, both their Biju users can absolutely use them as well, Itachi says. True, Kiri's civilian war, IWA has yet to antithesis from the aftermost war. Suna is atrocious with the accepted daimyo actuality a hedonistic fool and putting a stranglehold on them. Ai sees his adventitious to aggrandize into the basic land, Naruto says and glances to Ryuko's babyish bump. I should get going, I allegation to accomplish my session, Naruto says, agreement some money on the table. If you accept a boy will you name him Naruto, Naruto says. Animated but Ryuko glares at him and he after affects his hand. Naruto leaves Ryuko's tea boutique alleged dragoon princess and makes his way to a characterless shop, actively acquainted of those watching him. Will they move on you, Kurama asks. More than likely, their new spy in the boutique will let them apperceive I'll be bottom ward for a few canicule and Hex may accomplish her move, Naruto thought, entering the shop. Yo Naruto, appear aback for more, a man shouts. He is alpine and able-bodied with abundant tattoos and pierces, cutting all aback and has a bald-headed arch with blooming eyes. Yo Taka, yeah I appetite to alpha on a new allotment on my hip, Naruto says. What arrangement of look, Taka asks. A claret red-orange spiral, attribute of a whirlpool, Naruto replies and Taka whistles. Nice, I'll set up everything, booty a seat, Taka says and Naruto nods, award a bank and seeing a adolescent woman with red beard and bluish eyes. Hey, you allegation be new, Naruto says. The babe looks up from her book with a slight attending away. Yeah, about a month, she says and Naruto nods, beating his aperture slightly. Cool, I'm aloof actuality abacus to my collection, Naruto says and lifts his shirt, assuming allotment of his aback boom afresh his sleeves. Wow, that allegation booty a connected time, the girls asks and smiles. Oh my name is Yumiko, she adds. Yeah, it takes some austere time, I allegation to accept anaplasty soon, so I basic to get this at atomic started, Naruto says and Yumiko gasps. Surgery, Yumiko asks. Naruto crosses his legs and starts to apple pie his sunglasses. Yeah, a simple surgery, the abode is aloof al fresco the basic in otaku guy, he says. Yo Naruto, I'm ready, Taka says. Naruto gets to anxiety with a babyish beachcomber to Yumiko and follows Taka to the back. So what brings you back? I anticipation your activity to Konoha, Taka asks. Naruto unbuckles his boots and pants, bottom ward both off and agreement them on the bench. This is aloof a little detour a 4-branch back. I was in Nami on a mission, Naruto says, bent assimilate to Taka's slab as he alleged it. The albino lays on his ancillary to accord Taka admission to his appropriate hip and leg. Taka starts analog Naruto's new boom as the albino tunes out aggregate for the duration. Flashback. Naruto stands beyond from the aristocrat of Blaze Country, accepted as Ozai Hano and the man was currently captivation his granddaughter Kino. Thank you Naruto, what any time you want, if it is in my power, I will admission it, Ozai says. He is earlier man with atramentous beard in an acceptable topcoat, cutting August apparel of black, red and orange. So I booty it you accept me, Naruto says. Cha on his larboard and Elchina on his right, Ozai acclamation Kino's aback with a saddened look, I beatific some of my bodies in disguise, how could Hiruzen lie to me for this long, he says. I acquainted the aforementioned way your highness, Hiruzen not alone aria to me about my nephew to bottle this ancient attention the antithesis of Biju, but accustomed him to be kidnapped beneath his nose, Cha says. A maid takes Kino to her allowance as Ozai sits up straighter. Konoha has not already relied on the ability of the Kyubi. Hiruzen has become lax in his aphorism as Hokage. He starts and looks to Naruto. The albino wears white slacks with a white accoutrement vest, atramentous belt and shirt, no tie and a brace of atramentous gloves. I admiration if you would advise me Naruto. I will allegation time but you will be the spearhead for this, Ozai adds. That's accomplished aristocrat Ozai, Sarutobi has bootless me, my parents and so abounding others because of his naive and abstracted thinking, Naruto says. I would accept to accede you on some of your thinking, Hiruzen's additional appellation as Hokage has larbored me wanting, alike the end of his aboriginal as well, I will not assault into this. I allegation a applicant to alter him and I allegation time to assignment things in my favor, I accept taken a acceptance Duke to Konoha. That will anon change, Ozai states. Naruto's eyes glint abaft his white lens, I attending advance to audition from you aristocrat Ozai, he says. Flashback end. Naruto tunes aback in and looks to see the completed outline on the whirlpool circling as Taka starts with the blush of red-orange. Cute agent you got, Naruto says. Taka looks up as he wipes some balance blush away. She's not bad, so break abroad from her, he says and Naruto smirks. I will, she doesn't assume my type, Naruto says and Taka arches an eyebrow. You accept a type, Taka says, a badinage Axel and Naruto laughs, the brace abide talking about assorted things as Yumiko pokes her arch in. I'm leaving, she says. See you tomorrow Yumiko, Taka says and Naruto artlessly waves. Yumiko leaves the boutique and makes her way to a bank den fresh to a back room. She enters the allowance breath. Several men were sitting and gambling. He came into the shop, Yumiko says, her face blank. One of the characterless men adjusts his glasses and urges her to go on. He's planning a anaplasty in Otakugai. I do not apperceive a back, but it could be in the abutting few days, Yumiko explains. Continue to observe, we'll put a detail on him, one says and Yumiko nods, answer herself as the men babble to adapt a bulletin for their mistress. Scene breach, 20 canicule later. Hex and the ample accumulation of her armament were advancing themselves to storm a babyish clinic, which Naruto is currently comatose afterwards anaplasty to his eyes. Hex wears a form-fitting shizoku, that exposes her achievement and her beard pulled into a bound ponytail. Hex-sama this could be a trap, Yumiko says, bottom wards several kunai knives into sheaths on her hips. Hex looks over her custom senbon launches with a babyish giggle, fufufu, of advance this a trap, she says, abominable some of her men. Then why are we attacking, Yumiko says. Hex approaches the adolescent woman and caresses her cheek, acceptance a babyish broom to leave her aperture and Yumiko's eyes coat over. Yes Hex-sama, Yumiko coos and Hex giggles. Even if this a trap, the assistant we addled has accepted Uzumaki absolutely had surgery, Hex says and all of them nod. The accumulation accomplished their final checks in Alpha to book out of a architecture about a block from the clinic, all cutting atramentous mantles to their knees. The rain avalanche moderately to accumulate the bottom cartage to minimum as Hex and her accumulation move beyond the streets and roofs. Hex makes some hand signs and the accumulation picks up their pace, extensive the dispensary with Hex assemblage up at the door, forth with several of her men. Music, Automatic Trinity, Automatic 2-0, Automatic by Nick Tsios. Hex and her bodies assault into the dispensary as several assistant were milling about but they scream at the afterimage of Hex and her people. Hex assault out a blubbery broom arise the nurses, causing them to scream as they were actuality austere by the mist. Several kunai bore their active to put them out of their ache as the accumulation defended the lobby. Which room, Hex says. Yumiko goes abaft the adverse and finds the accommodating list. Last allowance on the appropriate 1010, she says, the accumulation assemblage up already afresh and accomplished their way arise said, some bottom ward into added apartment to annihilate any witnesses. Hex and Yumiko ability allowance 1010 and boring but anxiously accelerate accessible the door, fufufu, hello Naruto-kun, Tsunade and Cha. Hex sneers, her senbon launcher aimed at the leash of blondes. Naruto sits on a bed in pajamas and his eyes bandaged with Tsunade and Cha to his appropriate and left. It's nice to see you Hex, able-bodied arrangement of, Naruto says. Hex absolutely accomplish into the allowance with Yumiko on her larboard and addition man on her right, same, so abounding except alleged for your death, she says. Naruto chuckles with a beachcomber a hand, such is way of the world. So why don't you be a acceptable boob and acquaint me who assassin you, he says. Yumiko anchorage her eyes in acrimony and flings a kunai arise the albino but Tsunade catches it, crushing it with ease. You get one Hex, Tsunade hisses. Hex shoots a glance to Yumiko but a back to Naruto. That would be cogent Naruto-kun, Hex says. Naruto touches his bandaged face with a sigh, that's fine, why don't we go outside, I would rather action in the open, he says, casting his covers. Tsunade takes his duke to advise him to his anxiety as Hex anchorage her eyes but boring backs her people. The standoff and restriction begins as Hex backs up her bodies but looks of abhorrence anatomy on Cha and Tsunade's face. These bodies were innocent, Cha says, a austere attending on her face. Such is battle, they chose to aid the enemy, Hex says, as they ability the outside. Tsunade guides Naruto to the average of the alley as Hex's armament beleaguer them from the roofs and street. You apperceive Hex, I consistently anticipation you were an absorbing person. Casper goes on and on about you, but seeing you now, you're aloof someone's puppet, Naruto says. Hex-sama is no one's puppet, Yumiko shouts, hardly abominable Hex. Naruto cool with his hidden boring on Yumiko, oh but she is, her boob adept is too aloof to face me arch-on, so he gives me the award-winning that is Hex, he says. Yumiko gnashes her teeth in acrimony and grabs her knives. Shut up, she shouts. Yumiko stop, Hex shouts but Yumiko tosses her knives. Arise the blonde. Naruto stops the knives and booty one, abundant to the shock of Hex in her accumulation, but it wears off. Fire, Hex shouts. The accumulation opens blaze with their kunai and senbon launchers against Naruto, but he halts the weapons, bottom-ward them to their shock already again. What? Hex thought. Naruto uses the kunai knife to cut his bandages to chargeless his eyes. Shame really, he says, absolute his Sharingan appropriate eye. Hex's eyes widen in attending to Yumiko. Sharingan, so he acclimated genjutsu on her, she thought. So Hex, why don't you surrender? Abilities like castigation shouldn't be wasted, Naruto says. Hex anchorage her eyes at the blonde. You're a threat, I am amends and amends will prevail, she shouts, apprenticed aberrant signs to Ram. Futton. Koma no jutsu, Hex shouts, battlefront a blubbery acerb mist, Cha and Tsunade bound abroad as Naruto's new Sharingan accoutrement into three triangles wrapping themselves about the adherent as the broom artlessly phases canyon him. Hex and her armament blow as Naruto artlessly walks through the broom absolutely unharmed. Last adventitious Hex, Naruto says. Yumiko shoots advanced with her knives in hand. Die, she shouts. So not cute, Naruto says, afore a knife pierces her forehead. He raises his easily and the weapons lift off the arena and blaze arise Hex's accumulation as Cha amendment a brand from her seal. Tsunade cracks her duke to shoot advanced as Hex and Naruto angle face to face. It didn't accept to be this way, he says. Screams appear as Hex whips her arch larboard to see a ample billow of insects and amusement women. Alcina appears abaft Naruto with her claws continued and her aureate eyes glowing, afore vanishing already again. Hex fires several acerb baptized bullets but Naruto counters with his own wind bullets. Afore she accused Naruto in a angry bender of taijutsu but the albino uses kamui to contrivance and his acceleration to assault her strikes. Ryujui Gansai Ken, Naruto thought, arresting Hex in the stomach. The witch of amends flies aback with a barf of claret from her aperture but catches herself, apprenticed aberrant a flurry of signs but her anatomy seizes. Hex avalanche to her knees and spews added claret from her aperture as Cha appears on Naruto's larboard with her brand decrepit in blood. Tsunade appears on Naruto's appropriate with her sleeves formed up and claret on her atramentous gloves. Afterwards Alcina appears with her daughters. Claret accoutrement their faces and easily with the sisters accepting Duke scythes. Well Hex, I will say acknowledge you for acceptance me to analysis my new eye and taijutsu my mother larboard me, Naruto says and squats bottom-ward to eye akin with Hex. She abominably glares at Naruto and the albino sighs to acceleration aback to his abounding height. Warrior to the end, Naruto says and glances aback to Cha, comatose his head. Cha approaches with her brand as Hex raises her head, for it to abatement from her abutting acknowledgement to the brand dancer. We're on a timetable, so you won't be able to sit and feast, Naruto says and amendment his aunts. We can alive with that darling, Alcina says and the sisters giggle, activity to abduct a anatomia for the all-overs eat all of them. Will you acknowledgement to Konoha, Cha asks. Naruto rolls his abutting with a pop of his joints. Yeah, I don't appetite Sarutobi to get any ideas, he says and the three nod.